I can kind of give a quick monologue on this. So, since the 1960s, we've basically been in a situation where women have pursued education, employment, and self-betterment. And though these things look good on paper and sound good on paper, the reality is that this was the beginning of the end. And when I say the beginning of the end, I mean the beginning of the end of society. And for you to understand why this is becoming the beginning of the end of the society, you need to understand the pernicious nature of feminism, and that is what women empowerment is. We went from women wanting to be equal to men and work and be able to chase a career, etc., to now we're in a situation where most women view men and relationships and having a family as fifth or sixth on their priority list. In other words, most women would prefer to travel and take pictures for Instagram versus taking a picture of a family. And this is not good. Obviously, we see the birth rates are extremely low. We see that we see the rise of promiscuity in women. We see the lack of shame, right, where we've pretty much totally made it cool for girls to be thoughts on the internet, whether it's on OnlyFans overtly or on TikTok covertly or Instagram. But basically, we've gotten to a point now where women monetize their sexuality and behave like hoes. Let's just be honest. And this is a byproduct of feminism. So I think if we're going to go ahead and save society, we need to put women back in the kitchen, quite frankly. That's just what it is. I mean, and let's be honest about feminism. Like, women aren't really in important industry jobs. They're more, a lot of the times they're in, bullshit sociology jobs that don't really matter that much, paper pushing, etc. They dominate the career fields that are pretty useless. Whereas men build all the infrastructure that you guys see around us. So, also, another thing that's important for people to understand when it comes to feminism is that not only did it destroy the family, but it doubled the workforce. So when you double the workforce, what you effectively do is you allow companies, for-profit companies, these Fortune 500 companies, to basically double the workforce so they don't have to pay you as much, right? A lot of millennials and people that aren't necessarily boomers complain a lot about the cost of living. They can't buy a home. They can't do the same things that their parents or their grandparents did. Well, that's because your parents and your grandparents didn't have to deal with feminism. And thanks to feminism, it's effectively doubled the workforce and made it where things can be more expensive. And who wins from this? The government. Less kids, more taxes, society crumbles. They could push more progressive liberal ideologies that are toxic to society and destructive to the family. And quite frankly, all the bad things in society that you guys see, it stems from feminism. Feminism is the Trojan horse from which to bring all the other problems of progressivism. So if anyone disagrees, more than welcome. But yeah, long story short, women need to go back to the kitchen. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so they can hear you. You say, give your, if you want to ask a question or if you have a position, whatever it may be.
Just a comment about feminism.
Okay. Sure.
So what you're saying is if women feel confident or proud of the fact of their feminism, then you're saying that's a bad thing?
Well, when you be specific, when you're asking me them being proud of their feminism, what do you mean in particular? Are we talking their career? Are we talking their title? Are we talking how much money they earn? What in particular are we talking about? Them being able to be promiscuous with impunity? What is it?
Just guess I'm saying being a feminine, being a woman, being attractive, being sexual, being somebody that you would want to, be with. You're saying that's a bad thing?
No, what I'm saying is that the bad thing is how we've masculinized women under the guise of feminism, that they're equal to men. So them pursuing
so what
careers
you're
over
saying
family.
is that women are not equal to men?
Not whatsoever. They're inferior to men.
No, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're inferior to us, actually.
I'm sorry?
They're inferior to us, actually.
All right. Have a good night.
No problem. Now, I know that's a controversial take, but yes, women are inferior to men, and I'll explain why. They're inferior in every way. They're weaker, they're smaller, they're shorter. It's only because we live in a egalitarian world, politically correct world, where we're scared to say these things. But the reality is, women don't seek their equals. If you ask a girl, what does she want in a man? She's going to say she wants a guy that's taller, makes more money, has more status, etc. So women don't even want an equal themselves. They want a superior. So that's just the reality. Yeah.
What's up, Myron? First of all, let me say everything you saying is completely correct. Ladies, I fuck with y'all, but at the end of the day, you got to understand this. The hierarchy goes like this. It goes God, men, women, children, animals. And if that doesn't make fucking sense, then it just doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, you got to think about it. Men provide the infrastructure. Am I right or am I wrong? You said in a couple streams ago that men create resources and women take them.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. And I think women do belong in the fucking kitchen. Because at the end of the day, why the fuck should a man be in the kitchen making food if he's providing for you? Especially in Miami. If I'm out here slaving the fuck away, I got to be black, deal with the police and all this extra shit. Why would I be in the kitchen making my own sandwich when you at the crib and you ain't got to do nothing? If you don't have a job, get your ass in the motherfucking kitchen. It makes perfect sense. Get in the kitchen. You ain't got to be the best cook in the world, bitch. You can do Uber Eats, DoorDash, do something. Just make sure I got it going on. But at the end of the day, I do believe that because at the end of the day, you got to think about this. When it comes down, push comes to shove, the men are the ones usually that go to war. I was in the Navy. I'm a Navy vet myself, right? We don't have women on the front line for a particular reason because it causes men to start to think emotionally. They start worrying about her safety and shit like that. You're not worried about the boy next to you for the most part because he's a man. He joined to be a man, you know what I'm saying? But women on the front line is fucking crazy. Am I talking crazy?
No, I mean, I don't think women should be in the military or in police either. They shouldn't be. Interesting story. Like 2 days ago in Nebraska, 2 federal agents were trying to arrest a gang member. Tren de Agua, whatever it may be. And he got into an altercation with a female agent and he almost killed her. And the guy had to come in and save her life. But this is an example of what I mean when I say that because of political correctness, we put everybody in danger, right? Because your force is only as strong as the weakest person within it. And, we try to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, men and women are equal. But the reality is this woman almost lost her life if there wasn't a male agent there.
Right.
So,
and then the cold part with that situation, when you have a female, now listen, I'm all for females doing their thing. But you got to understand, we got levels. There's hierarchies. There's roles. So if you got a female cop that almost got beat the fuck up and killed by a male, at the end of the day, that's a liability. Yep. Females always talk about they don't want a man for shit. Well, build your own house, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a man. I don't need this. But then at the end of the day, when somebody breaks into the house, who the fuck you expect to deal with it? The man. You expect him to wake up, go get the Glock and all this other stuff. Well, if you that bad, go get the 22 and handle it yourself. Anyways, I'll be back through here. But yeah, women, y'all belong in the kitchen. Males, you belong on the motherfucking front line. We outside.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Anybody else disagree? Women need to be in the kitchen. Change my mind. Damn, okay. I guess everybody in the crowd is based. Everybody thinks women need to be in the kitchen? Or scared. Or they're scared. One of the two. One of the two. What was that? Oh, you want me to read? Oh, yeah, guys. Guys. Obviously, we're running a promo for CastleClub, CC17. If you guys want to jump in there, OSS, whatever it may be that you want to do. Let's see here. What it should be. This is good camera placement, man. This looks good, man. I'm looking at it. We get better week by week. So, yeah, women do belong in the kitchen, guys. Change my mind. That is the topic. Well, we could talk about other things if you guys want to talk about the war in Israel. Or, well, the war that kind of ended, but it's definitely not ended. It's just a ceasefire because we all know that these Israelis are going to start the war again. Actually, another position we could do, I'll give you guys another prompt. Israel and the United States failed the last conflict. That is my position on that one. And the reason why is because we basically said, oh, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get rid of Iran's nuclear program. Well, guess what? Did we get rid of the nuclear program? We did not at all. They pretty much still have the infrastructure there. They still have about roughly 400 kilos of uranium missing. And if anything, all we've done is emboldened them to go ahead and push towards building a nuclear bomb now to defend themselves. So I think the past 2 weeks of warfare and military operations in the Middle East have been absolutely a failure for the West. This stems from us making the mistake of pulling out of the nuclear deal in 2018. And let's be honest, it's because of Donald Trump's Zionist backers that forced him to get out of that deal. If we had stuck in that deal, we would have a denuclearized Iran that we can manage. But now they're going to rush towards a nuclear bomb because of bad diplomacy and because our foreign policy is controlled by Israel. So last week's operations are absolutely a failure. Absolutely a failure. So, yeah, so those are two topics. We could discuss the conflict in the Middle East. We could talk about why women need to be in the kitchen. We could talk about whatever. Oh, yeah, we'll read chats too. Do you have them right now? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so guys, if also we'll read donations and stuff like that too. But those are my positions on that one. Yeah, people are checking out. Yes, ladies, it says women belong in the kitchen. Changed my mind. That's what it says. If you disagree, you're welcome to come to the mic. Looks like these girls are, what, are you guys YouTubers over there or what? Yeah? All right, do you guys agree women deserve less and they should be in the kitchen? Why? Okay, tell us on the mic why you disagree. You're YouTubers. This is a big channel. They're running? They're running? Yeah. I said, bro, I mean, let's be honest, man. Most female creators are retards, so it is what it is. It's fine. There's a reason why nobody watches female podcasts, if we're going to be all the way honest. All the top podcasts are run by men for a reason. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. We're live. We're live. Watch the wire. Watch the wire. Watch the wire. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Yeah, just come around this way, bro. We'll take a picture. No problem. No problem. You didn't know. You didn't know. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, bro.
No problem, man. Yeah, no worries. No problem, bro. Thank you for supporting. So yeah, women belong in the kitchen. Oh, what's up, bro? How are you, man? Women belong in the kitchen. Change my mind. Or the last military operation we did alongside Israel was a complete failure.
My man, where'd you get your game from?
My what?
Where'd you get your game from?
My game?
Yeah, like, where you get your game from? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume you mean my knowledge. A multitude of different places. Experience, other people's experiences. I read quite a bit on.
I'm talking about your experience.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a.
What's your experience with black women? What's your experience with your game? I'm not talking about how many books you read, other people's experience. Where your game
Well,
from?
I quite literally said my game. I said my experiences, other people's experiences.
What's your
reading.
experience?
Well, I mean, I've talked to more people, more women than any other man probably on the internet.
Keep
at this
talking
point.
about other women. I'm talking about your experience.
I'm explaining
Why
it to
you
you.
hate black women so much?
Oh, I
Why
hate black
you talk
women.
down on black women? I'm talking about your experience, not everybody, all the books you read. I'm talking about your experience.
All right, so you clearly have a position here. What is your
You're no
position?
I hear you.
No, well,
You
I'm no.
downplay women.
Here's the thing: you hear me, but you're not listening. I answered your question multiple times.
You just said.
And you
all-
wanna come to the
all books
conclusion
you
of-
read. People you know. I'm talking about your experience, King.
I
I'm
told
not here
you.
to disrespect your black form.
Okay.
I'm just talking about your experience.
I told you, I've dated several women, talked to them on the podcast. I've talked to more women than any other YouTuber. Okay.
What women you dated? What race you dated?
Oh, yeah, 3,600. Yep. We've spoken to 3,600 girls on the show. I've talked to
I'm not talking
thousands
you
of black women. I've dated black women. I understand.
Date a black woman.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay, so that one black woman that you dated discriminate every black woman, because I watch your shit and I respect you. You got a cool little platform, but I'm thinking you're making money off of other niggas' experience, and then at the end of the day, and you sit up here like big almighty, like yo, I got experience to downgrade my peoples, my culture. But go
So
ahead,
what's
tell me all the books
So-
you read.
Yeah. So what's your disagreement then? Do you have like an actual position here?
No, until you listen. I respect
Because
your
what you're saying is you're basically saying, oh, you don't have experience. I don't.
I'm a black man. My mom is black. My sister's black. I love black women. But at the end of the day, you sit up here and then that you do downgrade black women because you're one experience. It's
Actually,
just like,
multiple.
Prime example. It's just like a white girl that took advantage of a black man. Now she don't want to date no black man in the world because that one bad experience that she had. That's how you sound like.
So anyway, I've spoken to hundreds of black women. I've dated them before,
Okay,
etc.
you talked to
Now here's
100.
the thing. Okay, are you gonna let me speak?
Go ahead, talk.
Yeah. So here's the thing, man. I get it. You want to put the cape on and cape for black women, but the reality is, all women have bad habits from here to there, and they're stereotypes. And stereotypes tend to be based on pattern recognition
But you
or over.
talk down on black women.
I talk down on everybody, honestly. It's just that.
What's your national land? Where you from?
What does that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with it.
It has
You gonna
absolutely
talk
nothing
down
to
about
do.
a race, you gotta
That has nothing to do with anything. Someone's
can't-
race. If I say something is objectively true or it tends to be true, it doesn't matter what my race is. Do I have to be a mathematician to say 1 + 1 is 2? No. It's an objective fact. The reality is this with black women. On average, they weigh about 187 pounds. They tend to be rude. They tend to be crass. They tend to not respect male authority because a lot of them grow up in fatherless households. So these are stereotypes that tend to happen all the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time. So
But that's the new
it's pattern-
generation
it's pattern
of women.
recognition.
OnlyFans,
It's pattern
black
recognition.
women, white
It's pattern-
girls, but you can as more black women.
Again, I'm critical of all races. It's just that
But
people
you don't
tend to
target
remember.
black women.
I'm critical of everybody. The thing is that black women tend to be the most sensitive and get the most butthurt about it. They can't take criticism.
But you
and
know
then
the
it's
crazy
funny.
thing is, you
Yeah,
talk
go
shit
ahead.
about black women, but all your staff is black.
Yeah, that means I'm not racist.
So
Good
how
job.
these niggas work
That
for
shows
you?
I'm actually not a racist. Good
No,
job.
you are no. What it is that you're a slave master, and you enslave black people to work for you, and at the same time you talk shit about their mothers, their sisters, their aunties, their uncles, their families, and they work for you. I don't see not one white staff that work for you. I don't see the black. I don't
This
see
white
no
girl right there.
security. Where they at? Oh, that one security.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. You know, bro, let me be honest with you, bro.
Talk to me.
This is the problem, right?
Talk to me.
You came in here and you immediately made it about race.
No.
Let's
I
have a
watch
real
you, King.
let's have a real conversation here.
I watch you.
No. Black people are the most racist people ever. You came in here and immediately made the conversation about race, talking about race. You guys perpetuate the very stereotypes and the racism that you guys complain about the most. And this is why I make fun of black people too. Now, here's the thing. Y'all look at me and say, oh, you're not one of us. You're not black. I am. I'm African-American by definition. But if you don't want to go ahead and consider me black, fine. I don't want to be with y'all niggas anyway. But the point I'm trying to make is that you made this immediately about race as soon as you came up. Oh, what's your knowledge with women? And I'm like, all right, well, here's my experiences. Oh, well, what's your thing about black women? So you came in here with an agenda to complain about my criticism of black women when I literally criticize everybody. Everybody gets criticized. It just so happens that they tend to
you
get
done?
the most butthurt. What are you talking about? Am I done? This is my shit, man.
And I
Like,
respect your
this-
shit.
this is my shit, bro. What are you-
My actions,
What you
though.
talking about? Am I done? Like, this is my shit, bro.
I get what you shit, but at the end of the day, everything you talk about,
Uh-huh.
because you got to understand it, we got a right to, even though our black women ain't shit, but we came out of black pussy. We came out of poverty.
This is,
This
bro,
is our, let me talk.
this is a low
I'll let you
IQ
talk.
argument, bro.
Let me
This
talk.
is a low IQ argument. Just because it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm low
oh,
key.
No, I said low IQ argument.
Why?
You're saying,
Because you was in the FBI and you would take a bunch of tests and you this and you got so much, you got one experience when the one black girl that you dated in your whole life of your career, you read a bunch of books, you know a bunch of friends, and you know so much of black. You got 2 white employees and now you're not racist. Get the fuck out of here, man.
bro,
Like I said, you a bigot.
bro. Okay.
I watch your shit.
Okay. So, well,
you disrespect black women.
yes,
you kick about your
I'm
show,
a, here's the thing. I'm a proud bigot, man. Proud bigot, proud racist,
and
sure.
I'm glad you said it.
Yep.
Conversation.
Because, hey,
over.
somebody's got to call out the fucking monkey behavior, like, right now. So, this is monkey
I'm a
behavior.
monkey.
Yeah, this is a monkey behavior right now. Yeah.
Man, you
Chimping
not
out.
gonna disrespect
Chimping
me,
out.
dude.
Yeah, you came up here trying to disrespect, so
I'm
it is
not
what it is.
disrespect you. I'm just
chipping
telling
out.
you what you preach.
Yo, you chipping out. You're not making any real arguments. You're just talking about race, blah, blah, blah. This is the problem,
that's
bro.
what you
This is the
do.
problem with niggas, bro. This is the problem with y'all. This is some nigga shit right now.
You gonna call me a nigga, but you can't tell me where you from. Are you a nigga?
Look,
where
you,
you from?
You watch the show, right?
Where you from?
Sudan. Family's from Sudan, yeah.
Okay, a Middle Eastern nigga.
But now it's Middle
Talking
Eastern.
shit about black niggas.
It's North Africa.
Talk about black,
It literally means the land of the blacks. You know that, right?
but you downgrade black women.
What does that have
talk
to do
shit
with
about-
anything? What does that have to do with anything? I go off behavior. When they act like retards, I call them retards. This right now is retarded behavior, regardless of your skin color. If you're a white dude saying this dumb shit, I'd say you're a retard too.
I'm
It's retarded behavior.
Because I'm telling you, you downgrade black women. I'm a retard.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, this is low IQ. It's low IQ. 100% low IQ.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, my nigga, that's why they demonetize you on YouTube.
Sure, and I
So
still
you
make
do
more
all
money
that-
than you.
Hey, I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You still a bigot at the end of the day.
A proud one too. I got my clan hood in the other room.
And guess what? I
Yeah.
guarantee your girl's a white girl.
No, she ain't actually. No.
Nigga, I see you walk around with that weak ass dog, nigga. With your white bitch. Come on, dude. You don't like black
This
bitches.
dude
Just
is
say you don't
stalking,
like.
bro. This dude is stalking.
Huh?
This dude is stalking, man.
So like I said, I didn't come to disrespect you.
No, you tried and you failed. That's the problem. You tried.
No, you just
You failed.
No, do your thing, King.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't handle conversation.
There's no conversation. You came in
You're
here on
so
some
used to
bullshit.
say you can't get one of your securities to kick me out like you kicked the black bitches off your show.
What?
How you disrespect black women on your show?
Yeah.
You can't disrespect me. Because I'm
You're-
a nigga walk up here, throw this drink in your face, and let you know what's up.
Oh, you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Try me.
that won't be good,
I'm
man.
Hamilton.
That won't be good, bro.
I'm Hamilton though.
That won't be good. That won't be good. That won't be good. That won't be good. For those that are wondering, he's about 5'6". He's about 5'6". On some nigga shit, man. Bro, this is crazy. It's funny. It confirms all the stereotypes. Comes in, starts chimping out, starts acting crazy, having a good discussion, debate on higher IQ shit. This dude immediately makes it about black women, starts simping. Crazy. It's crazy, bro. Hey, man. This what, bro. You can't make this up, bro. You can't make this up. People be on some bullshit, man. Like it's comedy, man. Yeah, he even said himself, bro. These bitch ass niggas, bro. Holy, man. Well, I'll tell you this: that when they say, "Oh, you never talk to a man like that," there you go. There's your clip, niggas. Never say some bullshit about he got a friend council just now. He got a street castle. It's an E for everybody, bro. It's fucking stupid ass guys, bro. Clowns, man. Okay. Yeah, what's up? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I 100% agree with you. Women should be in the kitchen. I'm 100% agree. So I 100% agree with you. Women should be in the kitchen. Women should like stay at home, cook, clean, but don't work. Women should be provider, work, and do all that stuff.
All right. Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Ukraine.
Okay. All right.
So my mother, she's stay-at-home wife. She doesn't work. My father, he's working, and I'm sure that every woman can choose what she likes, what type of relationship she likes. And for example, if some woman wants work, it's okay. But for me, I'm gonna choose the relationship when woman clean, cook, but she doesn't work.
All right. No, I mean that's good. I mean, it's kind of a lost trait nowadays, man. Kind of a lost trait nowadays.
Yeah.
What's that? Audio speaking? You got it? Cool. All right. All right. No, that's good. We need more women like that, man. Did you grow up in Ukraine? Did you come from the conflict or what?
Yeah, I grew up in Ukraine. I live here just for 2 years.
Oh shit, she came after the war.
Yes.
You already know what that means. Huh. You like Putin or no? You hate Putin.
I like what?
Do you like Putin or do you hate Putin?
Poor?
Vladimir Putin.
No, I don't like him. Of
You
course
don't?
I don't like him.
Fair. Zelensky? You like Zelensky?
Zelensky, yeah, I like him. I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And they never know about that topic anyway, so it's fine. All right, cool. Who's up next?
Thank you.
Wait, Myron, I've been
Yo.
watching Fresh and Fit since high school, and like me and my friends want to tell you, like, I really appreciate what you do for the community, and
Appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
We've been watching since high school, so we just wanted to say what's up. I saw you out here, so
Yeah,
here's
you
my
saw,
friend Jay.
you saw the bullshit with this nigga, huh?
He's crashing out. I mean, you fried him. I mean,
Hey, bro,
Friend.
it's it's not just like dudes be retarded too, bro. So
all right. Well, thank you so much, Myron.
thank you, man, for coming on. Yeah, so guys, the topic is women should be in the kitchen. Change my mind, or if people want to talk about the war that we had in the Middle East, how it was a monumental failure, we should have never went in for Israel. We could talk about that too, or we could read some chats. Yeah. Okay. Niga's Graper says, "Cause of these females, my paycheck can't buy shit for real." That's facts. Thanks to feminism. Oh, I could just stab it over. All right. No school for women. Okay. Niga's Graper, Myron the Gray is about to spread some knowledge. They heard Jay. Watch some boys instant transmission from Niga's Graper. Uncle been going back to the hotel empty-handed all week, and he white knighting here out of desperation. Who they talk about?
The black guy that just argued with you.
Oh, the nigga that, yeah.
We call him uncle.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's just crazy, bro. Like he comes in with a whole other agenda. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's probably why he's mad. Yeah, it happens, bro. Yeah, see, and here's the other thing too. For those that are watching, like that's a strategy actually. White knighting for girls like that and caping. That actually is like a viable sexual strategy that a lot of guys employ. to try to come off as like, look at me, I'm like a white knight, like give me some pussy. So yeah. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, man, that's what it is. So anyone else have a agreement, disagreement, want to add to the discussion? Just come on up to the mic.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's up?
So, just no dog in this fight. Curious about your opinion about the war in the Middle East. I don't have a pro and con, just curious.
Sure. So I think it's first I'll give my position. Hardcore American nationalists, and with being a nationalist, I don't think that we should be intervening in foreign conflicts. And I think we need to stop giving aid to Israel. Israel's been creating a lot of problems, killing innocent people every single day. They've absolutely tarnished our image in the international community. They're literally conducting a genocide right now as we speak. And quite frankly, they own our politicians. That's a problem because our foreign policy is run by them. So there was no need to intervene in Iran. There's no need to intervene in the Middle East at all. And I would argue that all our intervention in the Middle East is actually the reason why the Muslim world hates us. So I think we need to adopt a more non-interventionist foreign policy in the U.S. The problem is that we have a very powerful Zionist lobby that pays our politicians. And they're the ones that go ahead and dictate how things go. Now, some people might say that's anti-Semitic, but it's just realistic, right? If we're going to have people coming in and lobbying on a foreign country, well, we're not going to do what's in our best interest. We're going to do what's in their best interest, and that's where we end up with problems. So, yeah.
Do you think that Americans have other interests in the invasion of Iran that haven't been quite uncovered yet, and they're still keeping? Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to set up Israel as the hegemony in the Middle East so that we can move on to Asia. But,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think Israel's a trustworthy ally. They've stolen technology from us. They've spied on us. They do a lot of counterintelligence. And I think us propping them up to become a superpower in the Middle East will eventually come back to bite us in the ass later on.
Do you think that Israel has intentions to weaken the American military in this conflict to become the kind of major power in the Middle East without any contention?
Maybe not now, give them so much aid, but in the future, potentially, you know. But, you know, if you look at like a lot of the past conflicts we've had in the Middle East, it's all because of Israel. It really is. The war in Iraq was because of Israel. Us spending time in Afghanistan, all these other places, the Middle East, it's all pretty much been to benefit Israel. It doesn't really benefit us at all. Like Saddam Hussein had nothing to do with 9/11.
Yeah, my last comment is, do you think that the religious aspect of it really does have power, or it's truly just political?
Say that again?
Do you think that from an American perspective, the religious aspect does really have a say, or it's just pretext for their own interests?
Yeah, I mean, religion absolutely plays a role in these conflicts for sure, right? You know, if you look at it from the Zionist perspective, they say God promised us this land, right? You know, they're trying to build the temple right now on the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. So religion definitely does play a role in geopolitical affairs as well.
Okay.
Cool. Anybody else? Women should be in the kitchen, change my mind, or the war was a monumental failure.
I know it's not what you're talking about, but I want to know what your point of view as a person that works, agent for, I think, Homeland Security, right?
Yeah.
What is your point of view right now with going on with Trump right now with immigration and ICE? What is your point of view?
I think it's good. I think we haven't enforced immigration like this in a very long time, and I think you know, not only do we need to stop the border crossings, but then we also need to remove the people that are here illegally that have kind of been here for a while from the Biden administration, other administrations.
What do you think about the racially profiling people that are brown, people that are getting stopped just because they're brown? Do you think that affects the amendments that we have, like the 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment?
Well, here's the thing, right? And this is why, like, I kid around and I say, like, I'm like a proud bigot or racist. Like, the reality is everyone has some level of bias, racism, profiling, like, because human beings don't have the ability to get to know everybody that they talk to. So you have to kind of have preconceived notions about how someone looks and what their behavior is going to be to kind of predict, right? It's a safety mechanism, right? And then obviously if you meet them and they're not the stereotype, that's different, right? Like, for example, the gentleman before, he confirmed all the stereotypes about black men. He's a retard and violent and all this other shit. So, you know, is every black guy like that? No. But a lot of the times when you kind of assume what things are going to be, you'll be right a lot of the times. We'll be wrong sometimes, yes. But, you know, if you don't do that, then you might set yourself up to be assaulted. Now, to come back to the immigration thing, I don't think it's necessarily profiling as much as a lot of these people were ordered removed by an immigration judge. So it's not that they're being profiled, it's that they've been ordered removed by a judge. They're not here legally.
But there's 4 raids going on and they're stopping people who are just brown.
I'm sorry?
there's raids going on. There's people that are getting stopped just for being brown, for looking brown. So if you're a person about the Constitution and you're like American, then how are you okay with that? How are you okay with any U.S. citizen being stopped for the purpose of them being a brown person?
Well,
How do you justify that as a person, as a brown person yourself?
Yeah, I don't
If
think
if it happens to you, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to be okay with that? You're just going to say it's part of the process?
well, I'm not an illegal alien.
Yeah,
and
so
then
neither am I. But people like that look like me get stopped every day for bullshit like that, which is going against the Constitution. How are you as an American okay with that?
well, here's the thing. You got to remember that what you might define as profiling might not actually be profiling, right? So, like, let's say immigration officers know that there's a lot of illegal aliens that hang out at a Home Depot. They go there and they see 20 individuals, right? And they know that this is a place that a lot of people tend to be illegal looking for work. Well, if they go ahead and do what's called an immigration inspection and ask them, hey, of what country are you a citizen? They can do that. They have the right to do that as immigration officers.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't consider that really profiling. And then in a lot of these cases where they're, going out and actually arresting people, they have an immigration warrant, which means they've been deported by an immigration judge. So
yeah, that's a very few. But there's people who are just commuting, going on through their lives and being stopped, and they shouldn't have to even. There should be no reason a brown person should have to stop and identify themselves when they haven't committed a crime. We have the freedom to travel, and we're being stopped.
That's where you're wrong. They did commit a crime by coming here illegally.
You're saying not everyone that's brown committed a crime, and not everyone that's Mexican or brown here that committed a crime, and not everyone here is illegally. So there's people that are getting stopped that are full U.S. citizens that are getting asked for identification when they shouldn't have to. They have the freedom to just travel.
Well, immigration officers have the ability to do immigration inspections. They can absolutely stop you and ask your citizenship.
Yeah, but they're only stopping brown people. They're not stopping white people.
Well, if they're close to the border and that's what it tends to be, that's what it's going to be. Like it's
So
it's
you're
not,
just okay with that. So you're picking and choosing. So if you can't, how do you pick and choose what you want to follow from the Constitution?
it's not about picking and choosing. It's about they have a duty to remove illegal aliens. A lot of the illegal aliens tend to be from Mexico and South America. They have a certain type of look, so it makes sense that they would go ahead and ask them questions or conduct an immigration inspection. I don't think that's inherently biased or racist because a lot of these officers that are doing this are Mexican themselves or Hispanic. Most Border Patrol agents are actually Mexicans. People don't know this. They're not white people. They're not. They're literally Hispanics themselves. So I think you saying, oh no, they're profiling against brown people. I mean,
They are. I mean, you can't deny it. It's
but
happening.
see, my premise is that profiling isn't bad. See, you're framing it as if it's bad. I frame it as that's just natural police work, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion. I'm here to see your opinion.
Yeah.
But
So I don't think that's wrong. I think, as a law enforcement officer, you have a duty and, an obligation to actively, try to detect and or stop crime. And a lot of times that might come off as profiling, but I think that's good.
you think profiling is good?
Yep.
So you think people getting harassed is good?
If you're not a
And
criminal,
have
you
to
got nothing to
identify
worry about.
themselves.
If you're
But
not a
people get
criminal,
detained, and U.S. citizens get detained. People with residents get detained. People who are legally here are getting detained and put in detention centers and being held
you're
and
never
having to
gonna get
explain
put-
themselves.
See, that's materially false. You're never going to get put in a detention center if you're lawfully here. That's never going to happen.
No, it happens every day. It's happening right now. And, I mean, you just laughing
Bro,
at
you,
it. It's
you-
false.
You do realize I used to do this for work, right?
Yeah, I know. And
Yeah.
it's-
So-
you-
so
when-
if someone-
but
if someone
you're not
is-
doing it for now, though.
if
You
some-
did it before. Like, we're talking about present now. What
Yeah.
you did before that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
what's going on
Well,
currently.
No, actually it does because I worked under
Does it?
Trump as well. I worked under the Trump
We're not talking
administration
about
the
right
first time
now.
he was on.
Yeah, and that
And
administration changed
you
from this.
cannot-
The laws have changed completely. What he's doing, what he did as the last administration, is completely different with the administration going on now.
It's very
His numbers,
similar.
his numbers are completely different. The policies that are in place are completely different. It's not the same policies.
It's very similar.
But it's
now,
not.
are they cracking down on immigration now more than before?
Yes, exactly.
But the
So it's
point
not
I'm
the
trying to
same.
make is that if you encounter somebody and they have documentation, whether it's an LPR card or they're a U.S. citizen, you're not going to take them back to an ERO facility. You're not going to do that.
They have to prove it. So they get picked up. The fact that they're even getting stopped at point. I don't
They
think
can
you're missing
literally
the
do on
point.
record
These
checks
people are,
right
are
there.
supposed to be just be freely traveling. Like, they shouldn't have to prove anything just for the way they look. No.
No, they absolutely have to prove it. They
Just-
absolutely do.
So just
They
because-
absolutely do. And then
because someone's
another thing
born.
too is that they have a lot of them have fraudulent documents, whatever. So they have to confirm. They have to figure out if they're lawfully here or not. Like, bro, look, let me just be. And here's the problem, right? And this is exactly why we need to crack down on immigration. the fact that you're coming here and trying to make an argument about people breaking our laws and coming in and saying we need
you're
to
completely ignoring what I'm saying. You're putting words in my
because you're-
mouth.
No, because you're saying,
I'm
oh,
saying about
we're
people
getting
getting
profiled.
stopped. Brown people. My argument here is
Look.
about brown people getting stopped that look
Yes.
brown, that are
Yes.
here legally, that
Yes.
are citizens. I'm not here
And if
promoting
they,
that
and if they are
illegal immigrants.
citizens, they're released. It
No,
doesn't
they're
matter.
not. The fact that they're
it's
detained,
no more.
the main issue is the fact that they get stopped at all.
Look.
And then the white person is not going to get stopped for doing the same exact thing when they're both American. One's getting identified for being brown, one's getting identified for being white, and you're okay with that.
Yes, I'm okay with them
I
doing
mean,
their
that's
job.
cool. I mean, that's ignorant, but
I'm
it's
okay
good.
with them doing their jobs.
Yeah.
Again, we've gotten so pussified in America where we are more concerned with people's feelings and them being, minorly handicapped,
Yeah.
or impeded, right? Where we're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we don't want to do our jobs because we don't want to come off as profiling.
Right.
That's a bunch of foolishness and stupidity.
I
If
think
you
you're
want to
gonna see
go
that-
ahead, we've spent decades not enforcing immigration properly, letting people come into the country legally, not going hard on immigration. So now we got to crack down, and that means we need to do a 180 of what we did before. We let people come into the country, we let them exist in sanctuary cities with impunity. Now we have to go ahead and take some corrective steps. One of those corrective steps is going to be, hey, there might be some profiling, but that's a part of the game. That's how you detect crime,
So-
and that's how
so
it
it's
goes.
just part of
So
the
the
game
people
to
that are
you.
here legally are fine. The people that are here illegally are going to get removed, and that's what we have to do, because we've done this for decades, where we just let them come in and operate however they want, thinking that they're safe in these sanctuary cities. And look, if someone's like, oh my God, I'm offended because I got impeded for 5 minutes because they're trying to determine whether I'm here legally or not, well, it is what it is, man. This is
Like I
our
said,
problem
until
because
it
we've had
happens
open
to you-
borders for too long.
Until it happens to you or someone you know, you can go on your way, but like I said, until it happens to you, then you'll feel it. But it doesn't infect you until it's personally to you.
Look,
and that's
I've been-
cool. I mean,
look, here's the
that's
thing.
fine. You
See-
can ignorance is to yourself,
No,
but
it's not ignorance, because
Yeah.
I've actually been profiled by the police before.
yeah,
I
you're
have.
cool with that.
And I don't get angry. You know why?
Yeah.
Because when they
You have
stop
no
me
self-respect
and
for
I get
yourself.
pulled over, and I talk to them and I'm respectful and I follow the lawful commands
Right.
and I speak, they're like, oh, okay, and they let me go because I comply. I'm polite. I treat them like an authority figure, and they leave me alone. And that's the thing. If you're polite with the cops or whatever, they'll get you out of there quickly if you're not breaking the law. But the people that are breaking the law, they're obviously going to get pissed or whatever. Or people get angry. But I think that's what's required to take our country back and remove these illegal aliens. We got a problem.
So you don't believe any of the ICE agents do excessive force? You don't believe in that excessive force exists in immigration and ICE agents? That you don't believe that they have hatred in their hearts? Some of them. You believe that all of them are just sweet, just following the law and just doing this because they love their job?
Here's the thing. A lot of ICE agents that are doing these deportations that you're talking about are Hispanic themselves. Most of them are actually.
Like I said, you're completely ignoring and by-sweeping what I just said.
Well, you're making the argument that they're racist and they're biased. I'm telling you that
letting-
that's not
I'm
true.
asking you if you believe, you're just completely ignoring what I'm saying. I asked you, do you believe that all these people are genuinely following the law to code and have no hatred in their heart?
What
they're doing? They don't do this with the embassy.
Bro, you're trying to make an emotion for a very pragmatic thing that's going on and like what it is. Like,
Yeah.
like that's irrelevant if they have hate in their heart or not. Like, are they doing their job? And when they go ahead and effectuate an arrest, if they're going ahead and you're saying excessive force, a lot of times it's because they're resisting.
Yeah.
If you don't resist,
And you
they're
believe
not
all
going
of
to
them.
throw you to the floor.
So you believe all of them it's just anomalies?
Okay, so we're just going to not enforce our laws because of feelings. That's what the argument you're trying to make.
I'm just asking
And
you what
this
your
is-
opinion
this
is.
is-
I just want to see your
honestly,
insight on how you believe these people's
but no, 'cause
mindsets is.
You're framing the question in a certain way.
Bro, shut
I'll
the
be
fuck
honest.
up.
I'll be honest, bro. This is the problem with progressivism.
just chatting over
Like,
there, like,
you guys
for
are
what?
more concerned with feelings and hate in the heart and all this other
Like,
crap
real
than
hard.
enforcing laws. Like, that's the issue with progressivism. You know what I mean? It's like, let's go ahead and focus on how people feel and
Right.
do they have hate in their heart, all this other stuff,
Yeah.
versus just getting what needs to be done. Like,
Yeah.
this is the problem with progressivism. It impedes you from doing what you need to do because of feelings.
Right.
And this is why Trump won. This is why this political correctness and this, let's, be all nice and kumbaya, it's not real. And that's how we've ended up in the problem that we have now, where we have all these illegal aliens in the United States.
Yeah. So you don't think any of the people that voted for Trump weren't expecting this? Because there's people that are switching their opinion when they originally voted, and they're coming out saying that this is not what they thought. What they got out is not what they thought they were going to get.
When it comes to immigration, he campaigned on mass deportations.
Yeah.
He campaigned on that. So that's not really a solid argument. He
But
literally
it's the
campaigned on it.
It's not the same as last time when he was president. The whole system has changed. His policies have changed. He's coming in a lot harder. They're not the same exact as last time.
Look, Trump has always been pro-immigration enforcement. obviously they're utilizing more agencies now, so
Yeah.
they've
You got the military involved. You
multiplied
got
the
the military
force.
getting indoors.
well, the military's more on the border, but that's fine. Like the point I'm trying to make here, bro, is that like the law's got to get enforced. Like, with all
Like
due
I-
respect, nobody cares about feelings.
Like I said, at the end of the day, like I just want to show you inside. I respect your other point of views and everything else you have, but I just want to see what your perspective is on it.
Yeah, I think that we got a job to do, and people's feelings are irrelevant. That's how I look at it. And
Okay.
if people are mad about profiling, it is what it is. That's an inherent part of police work.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Who's up next? Women should be in the kitchen. Changed my mind. War in Israel, or sorry, the Iran-Israel war, or immigration, whatever.
You know, Myron, I'm sorry you had to deal with these past two fucking conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say something. You can feel however you feel, but feelings don't run the world. We got to live with the fucking facts, okay? And the facts are what matter. Here's the fact. I'm a black motherfucker. That other black dude was up here talking crazy. But at the end of the day, if I get profiled, that means that something happened that caused the officer to feel some type of way to want to treat me in a certain manner. I'm from L.A. It used to be fuck the police. Right? It used to be fuck the police. But then I realized you're never going to beat them. So the best thing to do when you get pulled the fuck over is just do what the fuck you need to do to go home to your family and your kids and stuff like that. Now, at the end of the day, let's talk about this immigration shit. I'm a Navy vet. I was a Navy cop. I was on the USS Boxer. If you guys ever seen that movie Captain Phillips about the Somali pirates, that was my ship, USS Boxer, right? Here's the thing that I don't agree with. When I was in the Navy as a Navy cop, there were people I had to profile, right? I had to profile generals and admirals coming through the fucking through the gate drunk. What am I going to give them a pass just because they're a general? No, you got to do your job. Make sense? You have to do your job. At the end of the day, as an American people, there's a certain obligation you have to do your job, right? Now, I'm all for people coming to this country legally and that, but at the end of the day, if you come to the country fucking legally, don't matter how good of a goddamn job you do in the carpentry at Home Depot, they coming to get your ass right now. So you're probably best off not being there. Now, at the end of the day, here's how this, hold on. We got the motherfucking robot. Profile that. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Oh, it's a robot. You know what I'm saying? Now let me tell you, y'all got to get out the way. Excuse me. Watch out. God damn it. Get the fuck out the way. Hurry up, white girls. On delay. Now, here's the thing. Here's the facts, ladies and gentlemen. That black dude that was up here, y'all remember he was up here, he was talking all this shit about black women? Listen, I love my people. I love all people. Well, not all of them. The gays got to go. But you know what I'm saying? I love my people. But at the end of the day, black women, for the most part, are raised to be independent. Think about this. I don't need a nigga for shit, blah, blah, this. When you have other girls in other cultures are raised to be submissive, obedient, right? I see that face right there, but you got to think about this. When you hear a girl say, I don't need a nigga for shit, fuck this, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, right? That's an independent mindset. That means that you don't need blah, 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 blah. So naturally, you're going to be raised to not need a nigga or whatever. But when you're submissive and you out there doing what you got to do for your husband, then he's able to come home and not deal with bullshit. Does that make sense? Men want peace. Would you agree with that? Would you agree that men want peace, sir? You think what? Yeah, well, okay, but I mean, okay, let me ask you a question. You want peace, right? If I came over there and started fucking with you, you would expect him to defend you, right? So then that means, but now let me ask a question. If you expect him to defend you and shit like that, are you submissive to him? Why the fuck? See, so you're not submissive to him. So how do you expect to get treated correctly if he can't even have a woman that he can tell what to do? Not as a dog, but I mean as a leader. You want a leader, right? Does that make sense? Myron, did you hear that shit?
Sorry, I was handling some back end stuff, bro.
Okay, let me tell you what just happened.
Yeah.
She said that everybody should have peace. I asked her, what the fuck would she expect him to do if I came over there and started fucking with her? She said, defend me. But then I asked her, is she submissive? She said, fuck no. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's not good at all.
Explain why.
Well, the reason why is because it's not a good trade. Like as a guy, if you're expected to lay down your life for a woman, she better be compliant and listen to you. She better obey you, honestly. And I think every guy here that's listening, if you got a girlfriend that doesn't obey you, that's a problem. That's a big fucking problem. So, the problem is that here's the issue. Women could demand whatever they want. A lot of the times they demand the traditional treatment from a man, a guy that's a gentleman, that's going to protect them, that's going to be tall and competent, all these other things. But if we say, okay, cool, we want a feminine woman that's going to obey us, they'll look at you and say, what do you think I am, a slave? And the reality is they want you to be traditional on your end, but they don't want to be traditional on their end. And that's not a fair trade for you as a man. So if you're with a girl and she doesn't submit or doesn't obey you, like, why the fuck is she even there? And I'll be honest too, because if you're the person that's responsible for protecting her, she needs to obey you. That's just how it goes.
Correct.
I'll give you guys an example. So a lot of you guys, I'm sure, saw when Donald Trump got shot last year, right?
Yep.
So when Donald Trump got shot, he, obviously he got under the podium and then he came back up and he threw his fist up, right? He wanted to stay. A lot of people don't know this. He wanted to stay and continue the rally. But what happened? Secret Service said, no, you're not. They took his ass and they put him in the car and they took him away. Why? Because at the end of the day, even though he's the most powerful person in the United States, the Secret Service is his protection. So therefore,
Correct.
he has to move within their confinements.
Correct.
Same thing with a woman. If you're responsible for her, that means you dictate how she moves and she needs to obey you for her own safety. Now, we live in this crazy world where we think, men and women are equal and a woman can tell you whatever. But, I always say feminism ends once punches start getting thrown. So, so women need to follow men. And that's why they need to obey them, because if shit comes to, shit hits the fan, and you say, hey, we need to do this. She's like, oh, why? And it's like, bitch, shut up. We got to fucking do this shit right now.
Exactly.
But too many guys are too scared to say that because we live in this world where, women are bosses and they can do everything a man can do. I'll be honest. I think women are inferior to men in almost every way that matters.
I agree.
So
Except making sandwiches.
they're inferior in most ways. And I think more men need to wake up to this cold, hard reality that, number one, your girl's not equal to you. Number two, what you say goes. Number three, she needs to obey you. And number four, women on most standards are inferior to men. And once men understand this stuff, you're going to naturally rise and understand, okay, the burden of performance is on me. Like, I need to protect, I need to provide, I need to stop being a bum, I need to be the guy, I need to be the leader. And trust me, even though this sounds horrible, this is what women actually want. They'll just never admit it, though.
Okay, now check this out. For example, I had this post went crazy on
Hold
Twitter.
on, let me, is there anybody else? Because I know you've had the mic here for a bit, bro. So
Anybody else? Hold on, where the white nigga go? Oh, that's my dog.
Yeah.
Shout out to Myron. We outside. I'll be back.
Shout out Myron. Shout out Myron.
Yo.
We're
What's
talking
up?
about that right there. Women should be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You really believe that wholeheartedly?
Yeah.
All the way 100%?
Yes.
You don't believe there's any woman that exists out there that's built to be entrepreneurs or CEOs that got that drive in them and that was their path?
That's a minority.
It's a small minority, but you just made a broad statement saying it as if it applied to all women.
Yeah, it's a broad statement because the world works on generalities. Majority of women should be in the kitchen. Now, are there going to be some women out there that have higher IQs and are ambitious and can get stuff done? Sure. But the reality is that's a very small minority of women.
Then why don't you adjust your statement?
Because, I mean, the world
You know
operates...
that's going to piss people off. That's going to piss off a lot of women that's in those positions. Why would you say something like that?
Well, that proves my point, why they're inferior.
You
They
damn
can't
near
control their
losing
emotions.
hoes saying stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
You losing biddies like that, bro. You scaring the hoes away.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
really
just
care.
keeping it 100 with you right now.
I don't really care, bro, about losing hoes. I would argue...
You don't like hoes?
Yeah, I would argue being yourself and being authentic, even if you're offensive, women will respect that.
That's
So
unnecessarily offensive, though. You could add a little more precision to your statement. Have everybody happy, everybody more educated.
So here's the thing. The only thing I could do is I could say something that's generally true. I can't control if someone gets offended
All
by
right,
that.
this is what you need to do. Generally, women should be in the kitchen. Change my mind.
How about this? How about you set up a table? You put generally women should be in the kitchen
We can
on the
set
other
the
side.
table up.
And then you can go ahead
We
and
can
do
set
that.
the table up. It ain't
But-
gonna be no argument. Everybody gonna agree with me because it's facts.
Yeah, sure. Then you could go ahead and set up a table and do that for your channel.
I'm just saying, bro. That's wrong
but
right there.
this
You
is
admitted it's
generally
wrong.
true.
You basically said I got this right here, but it's 70% right.
No, like more like 95% right.
Still ain't 100.
Damn near 100.
Is it 100?
Damn near 100.
Is
Damn
it
near.
100?
Again, exceptions don't make the rule.
Hey, it's a yes or no question. Is it 100?
It's never going to be 100.
There you go. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
There's exceptions to every rule, but it's statistically insignificant. It's such a small percentage.
How about this? I'll say this. The minority is definitely bigger than you think, especially in 2025, bro. Women is way more educated. They got way more opportunities, bro. There ain't nothing to laugh at. We see it all around us. We in Brickell, Miami. Most of these females out here running their own business. Solo dolo.
Actually, they're not, but that's fine. Like,
I mean, we know what goes on behind the scenes, but it's a decent amount of women that's running their own business, bro.
Bro,
Oh, bullshit.
let's be honest, man. A lot of the girls, when they're in college and getting educated, they get bullshit degrees to get a bullshit job. They might not even do that bullshit
Ain't women
job.
graduating from college at record levels right now?
Yeah, they are.
And ain't men going down?
Yeah, they are.
So we having more and more women entrepreneurs making 6 figures a year, and you think they belong in the kitchen?
Yeah.
They're clearly capable.
Yeah. No, they need to be in the
I ain't
kitchen.
gonna lie, I
yeah.
ain't gonna lie. I'm all for females being in their feminine energy. There are women out there that should definitely, be in the kitchen. That's where they flourish. You feel me?
That's the
But
majority.
It could be it might be 61-40 40 whatever right now. Still, it's a good amount of women, and it's increasing every day. 2025, Brickell, Miami, that should not be in the kitchen, bro. And you know you pissing them off saying that.
No, man. A majority should be in the kitchen. The women that are graduating from school, again, a lot of them graduate with bullshit degrees that don't really get them a job, right? They major in sociology, some other stuff. This is why women attend college at a higher rate, but they also major in dumber majors. And they don't really contribute to infrastructure. Despite the fact that they're graduating at higher rates, they still are not in job fields that lead to infrastructure, right? Plumbing, blue-collar work, construction, engineering, like anything that has to do with like human infrastructure, they're not involved. They're doing, office jobs with air conditioning. So men still build the world. Men still build the world, despite the fact not being represented at colleges. And also, let's be honest, the academic world has now turned into a progressive cesspool where people can push their leftist ideologies. It's not necessarily about learning a skill set anymore and becoming intelligent and
I ain't here
competent.
to talk about all
It's about
that.
pushing leftist agendas.
Hey, at least I got you to admit that sign a little wrong, and I was right.
Bro, you're not right about
You
nothing.
admitted it like 3 times, folks.
Bro.
Three times,
See,
my
here's
boy.
the thing. It's called common sense and being able to understand nuances. It's very difficult for things to be absolutely true every single time. However, in general, most women should be in the kitchen because most women need to have families and, push society that way versus pursuing a career. And that's why I say more women are not pursuing that, and that's why we have the problems that we have.
Do you admit there's millions of women out there that flourish pursuing their career?
That what?
Flourish pursuing their career.
Again, that is a minority.
Do you admit that it exists, though?
Bro, this nigga just here to argue,
Do
bro.
you
All right,
admit
let's
that
get
it
the next
exists?
person on, bro.
Hey, he's scared to debate me, y'all.
No,
Hey,
bro, because you're making
Tap in.
you're making a really bad argument. Because you're making an argument for the exception and the minority.
the exception is way bigger than you think. That's all I'm saying. You acting like it's 1%. It might be 10. It might be 15. It might be 20. It definitely ain't 1
It's
in
still the
2025.
minority. It's still the minority, which means the generalities.
And your sign
override.
don't say that.
Bro.
Come on, Myron.
It's called common sense.
Myron, lock in, bro.
It's called common sense,
Lock
man.
in, bro.
It's called common sense. It's called common sense, bro. I guess common sense is no longer common, man.
These are just facts, bro. I'm sorry. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah,
It's cool talking to you, though.
The base of his argument was you losing hoes. That's why I was like, all right, bro. Yeah, the nigga's main argument. The cornerstone of his argument is you're losing hoes. That already is an L. Like, you losing hoes, bro. We need to make sure that the hoes feel better. That is the crux of my argument. You losing us hoes, nigga. So, yeah, what's up?
Hi there. First of all, I don't think women should be in the kitchen. Because of women, you exist. That's why you are here.
Fantastic.
Do you know this earth is called Gaia? Do you even know that this earth is called Mother Gaia?
Yeah, sure.
By
So
the way,
I want you to give your position. So you're saying that women shouldn't be in the kitchen because I came from one? That's the argument?
well, what I'm trying to tell you is that women shouldn't be in the kitchen. Even in the Bible, you came on this earth. You have a free will. If you want to eat, go to the kitchen and cook for yourself. I'm not here to breastfeed a man who is looking for healing. Do you get me right?
I just want to make sure I
A
have.
lot of men who believe women should be in the kitchen are men who don't believe in being your own boss. As a woman, you have to be your own boss, your own manager, and your own scripture. You are the architecture of your own life. If you want to eat, go to the kitchen and cook yourself.
Okay. So that's your argument?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just letting you know that if you want to be in the kitchen, go to the kitchen by yourself. At the end of the day,
Okay.
you are your own boss.
All right. So this proves my point perfectly with what I mean when I say that feminism is a problem. So she's saying if you want to get food or whatever, you go to the kitchen yourself. So then why do I have a woman?
First of all, nobody is looking for validation. You are looking to depend on another human being. You have to be by yourself. Learn to be your own best friend. Feed yourself. Nobody is here to save you. Even Jesus can't save you.
Okay, I disagree with the premise of women not wanting the validation. I think it's actually the contrary. The reason why the makeup industry and the hair industry and fashion is worth billions upon billions of dollars is because women understand that their looks are their value, okay? A woman's main commodity, even whether she admits it or not, is her sexuality, okay? Men don't really give a shit about a woman's career, her income, her intelligence. None of that matters. What really matters is she attractive? If she's attractive, then we can go ahead and take all the other things into account. But I look at it like if I'm going to be with a girl and she doesn't want to do what girls are supposed to do, then you're effectively useless. I could
Can
go
I ask
date
you a
myself.
question? How about women like me that are alpha female? I'm an alpha female. I have masculine divine energy. How about that? I'm an alpha female.
Yeah.
What a man can do, a woman can do.
Yeah. So saying you're an alpha female is like saying you're a smart retard. It's like it's not. You know, it's like it doesn't. Saying you're an alpha female is literally saying I'm a smart retard. It's like that doesn't benefit men whatsoever. Like, why am I gonna want to go ahead and date myself? Men want a woman that's gonna behave like a woman. Like, I'll give you an example, right? What if I, let's say hypothetically, you were dating me, and I would spend more time getting dressed than you. I have more shoes than you. I go and get more manicures than you. I'm straight. I'm not gay, but I'm spending more time taking care of myself than you are. Wouldn't that be weird?
I agree with you on that one, though.
Okay.
No, you're right. Hey,
Yeah.
you know how you changed my mind.
There you go.
Hey, I'm a student in life.
What was that?
I'm a student in life. I gotta learn.
Student in
but
life?
yeah.
Fair.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. I think the thing is that men just don't want to date themselves, just like women don't want to date themselves. But see how crazy it sounded when I said, "Oh yeah, I spend time at the nail salon too, and I get my hair done."
Hey,
You
I
look at
agree
me
with
like,
you.
"Whoa, you're weird. I don't want to be with you."
Yeah.
Same thing with us. Women say I'm an alpha female. We're like, ugh. No, thank you.
You know what? You're right. But then, sometimes it's good to be an alpha female and also to have both divine energy and feminine energy, But I agree with you on that one, though. But just because a woman should be, just because a woman is a woman shouldn't be in the kitchen. I think everybody has to change their mindset.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, men can't deviate from their roles, but if women deviate from
Okay,
their
so
roles,
what
nobody
should
cares.
men be doing apart from protecting a woman and providing?
Yeah, and provisioning and being the leader, telling her what to do.
Okay.
That's the only way a relationship works. A relationship never works when the woman is leading or when the woman feels like she's equal to her man. It never works. Women want a guy that's superior to them. That's just the unfortunate reality is biology. So,
Wow. Okay, thank you so much.
no problem. Any other alpha females? And again, guys, because we got a big crowd here, the topic is either women should be in the kitchen, the Israel-Iran war, we could talk about whatever. I don't have a sign for the Israel-Iran war.
Have a desire to have a career. So it's like, what do I do until I get to that point?
Yeah, I mean, look, I talk a lot about how hard it is for men to date women that are traditional, but, I'd be very foolish to not admit that from the female perspective is also tough because feminism hasn't just hurt women, it's also hurt men because a lot of guys don't feel the need to rise up to their duties and be a protector or provider. A lot of guys nowadays want a 50-50 relationship with a woman. Yeah. So I would say step one is making sure that you find a guy that believes in traditional values. Like if you find some progressive guy that wants to go half and half with you, that's going to be a miserable existence. Yeah. And then also you mentioned that you're Christian. Finding someone that has those values as well is going to be super important. I will say, luckily, there's more young men now that are trying to, adopt this. So, young men are starting to become more and more conservative. I think from the last 10, 15 years of, leftist bullshit that they've been dealing with. But yeah, it's still going to be tough, man. I mean, I would say your church, through social groups, your family might know someone. But yeah, I would say just definitely be cautious and take your time. You're what, 21?
No, I'm almost 24.
24?
But, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then a little bit of speed then.
But I
You don't want to get to 28, 30 and not have a guy.
I know. I want to
Yeah.
be a young mom for sure.
Find a guy now for sure.
I guess my question was more so not dating wise. I guess because I know my end goal is that I want to be home with the kids. I want to be cooking. I want to be cleaning. I want to be the homemaker. But because I'm not there right now, what should I be doing?
Oh,
right
okay,
now?
okay. I see what you mean. Not for finding a guy, and rather, what should you do now?
Yeah.
Preserve your value. So for men, right? I always say men have to build their value. Women have to preserve their value. So when women turn 18, you get all the value in the world because now I'm assuming you're like a virgin or have a low body count or whatever. Like your job from that point forward is to preserve yourself for the best guy.
Yeah.
So for women, just preserve, find the guy, get married ASAP. Men, create value. Women got to preserve it.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks. You're doing
No
a great
problem.
job.
So basically, do what you're doing. Preserve your value. Don't be a thought.
Got
and you'll be
it.
good.
Thank you.
Cool. Any single Christian guys? There you go. You got someone here. Oh, hey, who knows? You might meet somebody here. Who's up next? Hey, what's up, man? How are you? Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
All right. I'm here to debate on why women should not be in the kitchen.
Okay.
So after marriage, I have a
The stream
question.
went down on. All right. Are we back up on YouTube? Yeah. On Myron Gaines X? Yes. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So 50% of marriages in the United States end up in divorce, correct?
Roughly. Yeah.
Yes. So 82% of men in marriages ask for prenups. If you search up that statistic, it is true. What do you expect women whose only capability is being in the kitchen and cleaning to do after that divorce with the prenup? And they
Okay.
don't have any assets or money given to them.
Sure. Good question. Well, the family laws actually were written with that taken into account. This is why men get destroyed in divorces a lot of times nowadays, because what's happened is the family court system was created specifically to protect women from that very problem that you mentioned. She devotes her life to him, devotes her life to the family, to the kids, etc. And they don't want it where he rug pulls her, leaves with everything, and she's destitute. So that's why alimony, child support, all of these things were put into place to protect women from that. The problem, though, is that the laws haven't caught up to feminism and progressivism, giving women, equal rights and equal ability to earn. So I would say, number one, it's not probable that your husband's going to leave you. It's actually, there's a whole phrase, it's cheaper to keep her. It comes from the concept that it's cheaper for a guy to simply just stay married versus divorce his wife. Most women initiate divorce, like 90%. So I would say there's safeguards in there to kind of deal with the problem that you mentioned, which I get it is a viable concern, but the family court deals with it.
So you believe that even though men may not leave their women because it's cheaper, a woman should stay in her marriage. Let's say he cheated, let's say other issues, because there are other reasons for marriage other than the men specifically leaving the woman.
Yeah. So your question is, do they cheat, or what do you?
No, I'm saying that, for example, a woman might have to leave under her own circumstances, not because the men believes that the marriage shouldn't end because it's cheaper. A woman might leave in any other way.
Yeah.
So when she's out in the world, she cannot get a job because she had not get a college education, and her only experience was working in a kitchen because that is what some men like you believe she should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is that if she leaves, that's her personal decisions, that she's got to deal with the consequences of that, right? Like if she's going to go ahead and break up her family and leave her husband, there's going to be negative consequences to that, right? Like, I didn't see any complaints for the 10 years where she was with him and she didn't have to work and she was able to kind of chill and, live a certain lifestyle. But then she wants to leave and be able to say, okay, well, I don't want to deal with negative consequences of breaking up my family. And I think that's kind of the bad part is women prioritize their happiness in a relationship over their duty. And they'll leave because they're not happy.
Do you believe happiness should be considered whether it's in domestic abuse situations? Let's say your husband abuses his wife. Do you believe the woman should stay there in that relationship, which could cause trauma to the child because of the family's happiness?
Now, obviously, you're being specific with domestic violence. Though that does occur, it's not the majority of reasons, right? It just comes down to women just not being. Well, here's the thing. Let's have a very honest conversation here. A lot of these phrases are bullshit. Oh, verbal abuse. Oh, emotional abuse. It can literally be him saying, yo, you need to do X, Y, Z, or him critiquing her. And she'll say that's verbal abuse. The problem is that we've basically conflated valid criticism or anything that needs to be said in a relationship to keep it going as abuse. And we tend to defer to what women say and believe them on at face value for everything that they say. So what's ended up happening is women don't really take accountability in relationships anymore, and everything is verbal abuse or I'm being assaulted or verbal assault I've heard. Like stupid shit like this. He might say, hey, you know what? I need you to do X, Y, Z. She'll look at that as this is abusive. So not only has it been where we've created like this weird environment where women want to go ahead and destroy relationships, we've also created stupid vernacular to kind of try to criminalize or pejoratively label constructive criticisms or healthy conversations within relationships. Because in other words, the man is always wrong. The woman is always right.
So I feel like you're kind of deflecting my point. I'm talking about in a scenario that there is domestic abuse and
For
it
sure.
is in fact
Then yeah,
true.
she should leave. If she's being assaulted, she should leave.
Yes.
But that is not the majority.
Okay, but let's say there is a woman who in this scenario
Sure.
is.
Yeah.
You do believe that she should stay in the kitchen. This woman,
Well, if he's beating her ass, then no.
obviously,
Yeah.
she goes into the real world with a child because obviously no woman is going to leave her child with an abuser with no experience, no job, no degree. No woman is going to survive in that world because we live in an economy where things are extremely expensive. where you do need a degree to survive unless you're going to marry again.
Well,
And most men don't marry middle-aged women with children who are struggling. And that's the realistic
You'd be
scenario.
surprised. There's a lot of simps out there. You'd be surprised.
And
There's a
realistically,
lot of
there's
simps
not.
out there that would do that. Again, I see the scenario, the specific scenario you're mentioning. Yes, if a guy's beating his wife's ass, yeah, she should leave. But that isn't the majority of the situations. A lot of times it's the woman feels like I could do better. I'm bored, or I just don't feel the spark anymore. We grew apart. All these bullshit phrases that women use to justify breaking up with a guy because they're not happy anymore, and they leave. So it's not the DV like you're claiming. That could be a part of it, but that's a minority.
Also, men are more commonly in marriages to commit infertility than women. So
To commit what?
infertility, that means cheating. Do you believe that a woman
Infidelity,
should...
you mean? Like cheating?
Infidelity. Do you believe that a woman should stay?
Okay, I think
Do you
she
believe
means
a
infidelity.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you believe a woman should stay in the marriage?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. I think a very realistic thing that women need to understand is that men are naturally promiscuous and non-monogamous. So I think to be with a guy for 10 years and then throw it away because he cheated on you with some chick that he doesn't care about, I think that's very stupid for a woman to do.
So can a woman cheat on her man?
No, that makes you a whore.
How come if a woman's putting all this effort into raising the children, into putting all the house that the man cannot do, why can't she cheat then? If the man's not there, if he's always working.
It's simple, because men have to earn their value and women are born with their value.
So women aren't allowed to go and earn their values themselves? Because they're saying they're not allowed to be going out earning their values, but they have to stick there with this value that's given to them by society.
No, well, again, men and women are not equal. We got to start there. Men and women are not equal whatsoever, okay?
Okay.
So because what you're referring to is you're talking about like blank slate equalism. Men and women are equal and you're kind of operating from there. That's a fallacy. There's no blank slate equalism. Men and women are very different. For example, how old are you?
I'm 16.
What the fuck? 16? Why are you dressed like that?
Okay. That's not the question. And I'm still right.
No, dude, that's the problem right there. Like that's an issue. That's a big issue. No, it's not about that. This proves my point. Why are holy crap. Like 16-year-old girls should be at home, right? Like studying. No, I don't actually. I don't, because this you actually just made my argument for me just now. That you just made my argument for me just now by doing that.
I just want to say the last girl ate down. But you said a point where, women should be in the kitchen. Well, first of all, I'm from Ireland and I have a podcast called Get the Gist. Follow the vibes. But yeah.
No. I'm just like over here like I always say privilege is invisible to those that have it. Do you think a 16-year-old guy would be able to get like certain things like in life? Like, not at all. They're invisible. Nobody gives a fuck, right? So that right there, her being able to come on the mic and say all these things or whatever it may be, like, that proves my point that like men and women live different lives completely.
No, I feel like a 16-year-old boy, if he was educated enough, could come on and speak his mind.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. What's your
No, you said
discussion?
Women should stay in the kitchen.
Yes.
But to be honest,
Or in her case, stay at home.
Oh, we're not talking about her now because
Yeah.
she ate down. We're moving on to me. So you said that women should be in the kitchen. I think cooking is a life skill, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
Everyone should learn how to cook, to be honest. So that's my, counter argument to your point.
Everyone should learn how to cook?
Yeah, it's a life skill.
Sure. But that doesn't refute that women should still be in the kitchen.
Like, it's a life skill. Where do you cook?
So this is what I'm saying. When men deal with women, right, we have to bring a lot of value to the table.
Okay.
Okay?
Everyone brings value.
No, women really don't. And I'll explain why.
To you.
Okay, who's pickier, men or women?
1 second. Do you have a missus? Do you have a girl?
That's irrelevant to the question.
No, like, I just want to know context.
I'm asking you.
I want to get to know you.
That's irrelevant. We're
Okay.
we're having an objective discussion.
Okay.
I'm asking you. Who's pickier, men or women?
Men are so picky. Men who know their value anyways. Men who have worth or have self-worth, they are very picky.
Okay.
Yeah.
In general,
Yeah.
who's pickier, men or women of the opposite gender?
Women aren't picky, to be honest. Like, women need 3 things. What the main thing women need in this life is to feel safe.
Okay, again, the question is,
Yeah.
who is pickier?
Men.
Okay, see, we can't even have a real conversation because that's biologically incorrect.
Why is it biologically correct?
Because women have far more standards for men than men have of women.
But to be honest, like, would you say you're a man that's making money and like, you know, is doing well?
Yes.
You'd be picky with your eye. You look picky.
But I got in a position where I can afford to be picky now.
Exactly. Women have gone to the position to feel picky.
No,
to
they're
be
not.
picky.
A woman could be 18 years old and be picky and brought nothing to the table. That's the point I'm trying to make here.
But can I tell you
Men-
something? I think it's how you view it, because you can be 16 and be picky. Like you can be like, you know what, yeah, I actually want a poodle instead of a Rottweiler. You can actually be picky. Like that was a very lazy example, but you can be picky too. I think being picky is very subjective. Everyone
Okay,
can be picky.
let's go through this because I don't know if you're debating in bad faith if you can't make simple biological concessions on the discussion.
Okay,
it's very simple.
Biological,
Men and-
right? So
Yes.
men, woman,
Yes.
coochie, penis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because
go.
everything starts there.
Right.
So once we start there, that men and women are different. They're
Yeah.
not the same.
Okay, so
let's go
difference
into
from
okay. You
gender-
gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Okay.
You gotta stop.
Sorry.
Because I'm trying to explain the
apologize.
concept here and why you're not correct.
Okay, go on.
Men and women are different.
Yes.
Men are looked at as protectors, providers, leaders.
Yeah.
Women are looked at as nurturers, and they want a man that's stronger than them that's going to take care of them. So in other words, women have far more requirements of men than men have of women. Okay? Women are more selective. Why? Because they carry children.
Yeah.
They can only bring one child to term per year.
Mhm.
So when they do have a seed put in them, they need to make sure it's from the best man that they can get.
Mhm.
Women want quality, men
Yeah.
want quantity.
Yeah.
Okay? So since women want quality,
Yeah.
by definition,
Mhm.
okay, they're more selective than men are.
Right.
Okay? So what I'm saying is, since men
Mm-hmm.
don't ask for much, what we really ask for, the things matter less. Or sorry,
Okay.
excuse me, the things matter more.
Right.
So since we don't ask for much, we want peace, maybe some food, you to not be a whore.
Right.
3 things really.
Yeah.
Each of those things have way more weight.
Yeah.
So what I'm arguing is if a woman can't be in the kitchen and cook, she's effectively significantly more useless because we don't ask for much.
Okay.
Whereas a guy, he can be ugly, but he can make up for that in other ways.
Yeah.
He could go ahead and get money. He could be charming. He could be charismatic. He
Yeah.
can have some status. Men can make up for their lack of sexual market value.
Okay.
Women really can't. If you're a whore or you're ugly or you don't do what you're supposed to do,
That's
you're effectively
crazy.
useless.
Those
Because
words
men
are
and women are
crazy.
not the same with how we mate select.
Okay.
Okay, that's very important. Since we mate select in completely different ways, we look for different things.
Yeah.
So when a woman can't cook or isn't in the kitchen, a part of her duties, she's basically absolving. So
Okay.
why am I even with her?
To be honest, like a woman should learn how to cook as a man should. But obviously, you said, back to biology. Back in the olden days, women were gatherers, men were hunters.
Okay,
It was
let me
kind
ask
of
you a
more like
question
a
real
team.
fast. Let me ask
I'm
you a
not
question.
done because I let you land.
Hold on.
So I'm not
Hold
done.
on.
Let me.
No,
let me,
no.
No,
Because
let
I'm
me
gonna
land,
test your
'cause I
logic
let
here.
you. Okay, go on.
Let me test your logic. Because you said a man should learn how to cook anyway. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you go to boxing class, right?
Okay.
And you train to fight,
Yeah.
right? Someone comes up and assaults you and you're there with your boyfriend.
Assaults me.
Yeah. So
Like
some
how?
guy-
Headlock.
Yeah, he hits you, right? He
Like
hits you.
in the face, in the belly.
Well, I mean, he hits you. I'm just this is just
It
a
depends.
scenario here.
Cause like if it's in the belly, I can take it. If it's the eye, I can't take it.
All right, he hits you, right?
Okay.
Are you gonna? What if your man looks at you and says, "Oh well, you know how to fight. You got this one." No,
Yeah.
you would want him to do what he's supposed to do, which is protect you, right?
No, but like to be honest, that example was kind of like 2 out of 10 because if we're in a boxing ring, like that shit's supposed to happen. Maybe if we're in a supermarket, like what you guys have Target here, we have Lidl in Europe. If it was at the shopping mall, then like I understand where my man needs to.
This is precisely why women need to be in the kitchen. They can't grasp logically sound analogies. Like
No,
this
but
is
like
why.
no, but to be honest with you, I'm expressing an opinion. I've respected your opinion, even though I might not agree with it. So if I'm talking, you can acknowledge it instead of diminishing it. Because like, can I tell you what your problem is? You saying women shouldn't be in the kitchen. That's not the problem. Women being in the kitchen, like that's what women were actually grown up to do. They're
Yeah.
supposed to take care of babies and be in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's more so your tone and like the vibes that you do deliver it in. You know what I mean? You might be a chill guy. You're actually a chill guy, but the way you deliver it may be the problem. But yeah, like obviously you didn't acknowledge my like point.
So
Do you remember
I
my
guess-
point?
So it's how I said it versus what I said.
Okay.
Is that the problem? That's
No,
the issue.
No, yeah, I think your delivery maybe. However, like, do you know how to cook yourself?
Okay,
Wait,
let's
where you-
address
no, wait,
the
no, no,
delivery.
Can I talk, please? Because I let you land. Where are you from? No, I just need to know culture-wise. Culture is important. Context to the conversation.
All right, let me address your point on the tone and delivery. I think the truth is the truth, regardless of how it's delivered. Now,
Facts.
this is something that I've noticed exclusively with women that I don't really deal with men. Women are more concerned with how the information is conveyed versus the information that's conveyed.
Yeah, but however, if you're in a job interview, like you're gonna obviously talk. Okay, yeah, like I love this job because I want to work hard. Dead ass, you just need money. You don't really care about they don't really they care about your qualifications. They want you to talk, but these times you're there for money. Like if you didn't need a job, you wouldn't have a job. You wouldn't go to the interview. So delivery is actually very important.
It's not really analogous to what the
To
example,
you.
but yeah.
Are you tired of me already? Okay,
This is
next.
why women need to be in the kitchen. Like I mean, bro, like this is like you can't grasp.
Wait, but can I ask you, like, can you cook yourself?
They can't grasp simple concepts.
Can you,
like
okay, I'm asking you. I've answered your questions. You haven't answered my questions.
no,
Can
because
you cook? Can you cook, baby? He's tired of me, guys. Woo!
look,
Thank you.
I said this before. You saying, "Oh, both parties should be able to cook."
Yeah.
That's fine. I understand that.
Perfect.
But that's why I gave you the example. You know how to box. You're out with your guy.
Yeah.
A guy hits you.
In the boxing ring.
No, you're out and about. You know how to box. You know how to defend yourself. But you
Okay.
still expect your man. It's his job
To be honest,
protect you.
love with expectations is not. So I don't really expect anything from people. I do maybe expect common human decency. However, like if I'm walking on the street in Miami, I'm from Ireland. Nobody knows me from anywhere. If someone punches me on the street, I take that shit on the chin. To be honest. Are you tired of me already? Why are you not talking anymore?
You don't make any sense, and you're not staying on topic. I told you before, because your argument is men and women should
I'm
both be able to
replying
cook.
to you.
Cool. Men and women should be able to cook.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you knew how to box and defend yourself,
yes,
and some guy came in and assaulted you, you would still expect your man to step up and protect you, despite the fact that you can defend
You're
yourself.
just assuming I'd
So,
expect. What if I don't?
You would.
No.
Because the reality is, even though you can defend yourself,
Yeah.
you're physically inferior to that man most of the time. So you're going to expect your guy, who is going to be physically capable, or at least more physically capable than you, to do that because that's his job as a protective provider. Same thing with women. So when I say, oh, I might be able to cook, however, you're a woman, it's your duty to do that traditionally, just like it's the guy's duty traditionally to protect you, even though you can defend yourself. That's my point. Just because I can do it and capable doesn't mean that I should when I have a woman there. And if she doesn't do it, she's useless. That's my point. Women are there to nurture their guy, take care of their guy, despite the fact that he might be able to cook on his own. Here's the problem. Women like to obfuscate and deflect from their duties. And this is quite frankly why we have the problems that we have now. Because women will sit there and say, oh, I am, I'm equal to my guy. I don't want to observe these duties. However, I still want you to be tall. I still want you to make money. I still want you to be a protector and a provider. That's a bullshit fucking deal for the guys. So I tell guys, if your girl isn't willing to be submissive, obey you, be in the kitchen, not question your authority, get her out of here. Because I'll be honest with you. Just having this discussion with you right now is making me get gray hair. And that's not how this should be. But this is what feminism has done. It's made women think that their nonsensical arguments that don't make any logically sound sense matter. They don't. This is why for the longest time we said women are to be seen, not be heard, because most women don't understand logic and rationale. This is what it is. Like I gave a very simple concept there, and you're like, well, and it's like that doesn't make sense.
To be honest with you, can I be real?
Yeah, sure.
You haven't memorized any of. You haven't said any of my points or remembered them. My point was the first thing I said was cooking is a life skill, but you're saying that doesn't make any logical sense. Why does it make any logical sense?
No, I said a man can have that life skill of cooking.
Yeah.
But when he gets a woman,
Yeah.
that should be
He
taken
should
over
forget
by the
li-
female.
He should forget the life
He can-
skill.
No, he can keep the life skill, but she
Okay.
should be the one handling it.
Okay.
Just like you know how to fight and defend yourself, it's a life skill.
Yeah.
But if something were to happen and someone were to assault you, he should be stepping up and doing what he's doing because that's his job. See, the reality is, and women don't like to understand this, there's roles in relationships.
Yeah.
I'm just finally holding women's feet to the fire and say you need to hold on to your roles because you guys still expect us to make money. You guys still expect us to be funny. You guys still expect us to protect you. But then you want to sit there and be like, well, I don't want to be in the kitchen. Well, fuck you. Get out of here. I tell guys all the time, if a woman doesn't obey you and do what she's supposed to do, don't date her.
So basically, what I would say is, right?
It's not a good deal for us.
No, I understand you. And I appreciate your point. What I was gonna say was, usually these kind of mindsets, they actually kind of like come from like upbringing. So was your mom in the kitchen growing up?
Yes,
Okay. And your
Yes.
dad, what was your dad doing?
he was working.
Okay, cool. Did you ever so have you talked to your mom about this point? How did she feel about it? And not from like you're trying to convince her, but like how she thought about the whole experience, like, in the household.
You know, it's funny. I love when women bring this up. You want to
Yeah.
know who taught me this?
Who?
No, it's my mom.
Really? But
Yes.
yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you where you
That's-
from.
see, 'cause I grew up-
usually
here's the thing.
because usually like cultures like are very strict with women have been in the kitchen. So I
I
just
grew
wanted
up
to know where
in
you're
a
from.
traditional nuclear
So
family
did I.
where both parents, my mom knew her job, my dad knew his job, and my mom was the one that told me, if a woman doesn't want to cook and clean for you, she's not worthy of a serious relationship. So in
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
other words, they need to do their fucking job, just like the man's supposed to do his job.
But- okay.
But we live in this crazy world where women pick and choose what jobs they want to take on.
But can I tell you something as well? Is it the woman's fault though? You see how the world is right now? Like perspectives have changed. Like people are like not doing things they used to do in the like. Let's say for example, we come from hunter gatherers, right? And in the household, there's traditional roles: women in the kitchen, men working. But now we know we live in a whole world where you get to walk around and call women hoes and stuff like that. That wasn't allowed back in the days. Do you get me? That
Yeah,
word.
because
that word
women weren't
wasn't
hoes
like,
back then.
Huh?
Because women weren't hoes back
To
then.
be honest, like I think there's been hoes for centuries.
For sure.
However, you can openly as a man come out in the street of this Miami and say this on a mic in front of people. But you know what? Yeah, I respect that you have a strong mind. A lot of people don't have that. Thank you guys. Get the Just Podcast follow.
No problem. Sure. What was that? Probably. Hey, and guys, we're back live on all the platforms. I know one of the streams went down, but we're back up on YouTube and everything. How long were we down for? 2 minutes? All right.
What's up, Myron? How are
Yo.
you, man?
What's up?
I feel like the sexual market value graph would help you a lot trying to explain the role Tomasi graph, kind of like it'll explain a lot more so people, so you don't have to go all over the place, and it kind of gives you more of how.
Yeah, I mean, that assumes that people have critical thinking skills, bro, and we all know that that's hard to find nowadays, especially for women. So, I mean, I could pull the graph out, but I don't think most people even be able to read it. If I be honest with you, bro.
Keep it up, man.
Thank you, man.
big
Appreciate
fan.
it. Someone that's definitely aware. I like it. Who's up next? Okay.
Hello, hello.
Yo.
What's your name, bro?
What's up, man?
How you doing? I'm Del.
Okay, what's up?
What's your name?
It's Myron.
Hi, Myron.
Hey, I'm Kaya. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I just want to say, man, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you because I'm actually the cook in my house.
Okay.
I cook good. But guess what? I didn't know she could cook. For the longest time, I liked my meals, and then she fucking blew me out of the water.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So here's the thing. So I, like a lot of women, rightfully so, was terribly in my masculine for so long out of safety and trauma. Once I healed, it transformed our relationship, and I was able to trust stepping into my femininity, and then it just changed everything. So really, I would say to the ladies, I understand that there's like a lot of trauma going on, and you don't want to give your femininity away to anybody who doesn't deserve it. It's better to stay single instead of meeting someone in trauma and, continuing that cycle. But just being in my feminine, I'm happier than I've ever been. And I never thought that I would say that because I was the last person that ever thought that I would be standing here right now saying that. But here I am.
Well, I'm glad cautionary tale for the ladies.
Yeah, no, and for a while, she's right, because for a while I was kind of in my feminine. As you can see, I have eyeliner on, so I still have some of that shit. But it was a long process, man. For the longest time, I kind of let her emotions run where the relationship was going. I kind of stepped back and let her lead a little bit.
Okay.
And then as I started to understand that she was becoming more softer as I became stronger, I started to realize that the importance of being the masculine protective type that you're talking about made her feel more feminine and more safe. And then she started to open up, and then we had a better relationship after 5 years.
Okay. No, that's great. I'm glad that you guys were able to, because most relationships don't last like that. So that's great that you guys were able to make that shift and make it better. So that's good.
We came in the beginning very, very hard because we both had rebounds.
Okay.
And then it was very, very, and then we reversed it after time. It's like, why am I with this girl? She was saying the same thing. Why is she with me? And then it started to, I don't know, just unfold after time.
Cool. All right.
I would say that we actually started on rock bottom, and then we healed our way into love. And so it's possible.
All right.
Glad
that you guys
Thanks,
were able
Myron.
to make it work. Yeah, that's gender roles, man, helping out. Who's up next?
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. No worries, man. I'm glad that you guys worked it out. That's good. That's awesome.
Okay.
So we need more of.
Good evening. What's your name?
Myron, how are you?
Myron, nice to meet you. Are you married?
No, thank God.
Okay, so that's one thing right there. And I just want to give you a little background on myself. So I'm 52, single mom. My daughter's 29. I come from a long line of strong women, born in the motherland, Liberia, West Africa. And yes, this is all a cultural thing. I respect what your mother did, but that was in her culture. That's what she was taught. I tell my girlfriends, because I raised a girl child who is now a wonderful woman making her way in New York City. And I tell my girlfriends who have boy children to raise their boy children to need nothing from a woman but to please them orally and in the bedroom. I say that because I'm saying that a man should know how to do laundry, how to cook, how to balance a checkbook, and all of the things to maintain a household. And in maintaining a household, it is a team effort. Let me just say this. If women were to stay in the kitchen, we wouldn't have the Brooklyn Bridge. If y'all don't know that fact, Google it. Because it was a woman who was an engineer that got the bridge up and standing because her husband was convalescent and could not continue the job. So history might say that it was built by a man because men were going to be scared to cross it, having known that it was built by a woman. But that was one woman who did more than just stay in the kitchen. She picked up the flag and carried it for her man and for the household. And she was what you call the quarterback that brought it home. So I'm not trying to change your mind, or maybe I am. Okay? But I'm saying that women play a prominent role, and it's more than just being in the kitchen. All right? And that's all I got to say.
Brooklyn Bridge, bro, it's crazy. What was the last one? Someone said they created Wi-Fi too. Look, man, like that's just like I don't know if that's just feminist propaganda right there, 100%. That is why we have the problems that we have, guys.
Thank you so much. Check.
Yeah,
1, 2.
like she followed her husband's plans. Like that's. Let me be very blunt about this. Women don't build; they move in. Women don't build anything. All the buildings you guys see around us, all these modern marvels, this was all created by men. Women don't build anything, okay? They don't build anything. They don't contribute to society in that way. They don't create infrastructure. Like, it is what it is. Like, this is just the reality. And I know people don't like hearing this because we want to sit there and make women feel special, but they don't create, they don't contribute to society in that manner, but that's fine.
What's
up,
going
man?
on, Myron? It's good
up,
to
bro?
see you again, man. I just wanted you to please kind of break down the traditional family and from your opinion, why do you think everything kind of went south?
Yeah, I mean, I think the United States and any country that's thriving is built on a nuclear family. Man, woman, kids, maybe a dog. And it kind of goes from there where the guy's the head of the household, the woman contributes in the house. You know, he's the predominant breadwinner. And I think with that structure right there, that is the model to success.
And then do you think any of this, like, because I know you talk about like feminism and how that kind of destroyed a lot of things. What do you think that role has played in this, destroying the nuclear family?
Well, it's destroyed the nuclear family because women think that they don't need men. And then also on top of that, they don't feel as though they need to adhere to their roles. I mean, the young woman before me was, well, not maybe young, but she was saying, you know, oh, like a man's only job, like he needs to be able to do his own thing and bounce his own checkbook, and he just needs to focus on pleasing his woman. That rhetoric is precisely why so many women stay single and they can't keep a guy around. We flipped it. It used to be a woman was supposed to serve a man. Now it's guys need to serve women. And quite frankly, a lot of guys are not going to sign up for that because why the hell do I got to go out there, make all this money, get this status, become charming, charismatic, all this other shit, and then I'm going to get a girl that's going to sit there and not provide anything back in return, and then on top of that, demand the most. It's not a fair trade for guys, and this is why so many men are not getting married, so many guys are not getting into long-term relationships. They'd rather go to other countries, maybe Colombia or Asia, to find a woman that's going to be more submissive and actually contribute. But the reality is that modern women in America, Western women, are demanding too much and not giving much in return. And I'm going to be one of the first people to say it, so I get censored all the time. Most modern women are fucking useless. They don't provide any value back in return. This is why guys are not taking women seriously and dating them or marrying them. Because if a guy does see the value, he is going to commit to the girl. And the problem is that most girls are not worthy of being committed to in Western society because they have this poisonous mindset where it's, I need the guy to provide all the value and I'm going to choose when I want to provide value. And that's simply not going to work.
Do you think that's maybe some of the issues with a lot of these famous guys going through with their situations, like Shannon Sharp or, Tyler Perry and all these other DDG? Do you think that possibly men sipping on women too early could be the cause of that?
Well, I mean, in their cases, those are two different scenarios. With Shannon Sharp, you got with an OnlyFans girl. That's cooked. You know what I mean? Any girl that's a sex worker is not worthy of a relationship whatsoever. If a girl's selling her body on the internet, she's never. You can never take her seriously.
Right.
And then as far as the Halle girl with DDG, this is why I tell guys never date entertainers that are women. Women that are entertainers, social media influencers, whatever it may be, they're never going to be good girlfriends because the nature of their work naturally puts them in precarious situations for the relationship. They have to network with other men. They need to try to go up the totem pole dealing with other men. Like, this is all not good for you. And then the most important reason why is because when women have status, they become terrible people. I'll explain what I mean by this. If you're a man and you meet your high school sweetheart and you become famous and you make money and you get some status, more than likely you're going to bring that woman with you. Now, are you going to go and fuck some other bitches on the side? Sure, right? But the girl that was with you there from the beginning, you're more than likely going to keep her with you, right? This is how men are. We're like naturally loyal like that, right? Now, the problem with women is that they conflate our loyalty as their loyalty. So they think, oh, you can't fuck no other bitches. No, my loyalty is me sticking by you and providing for you and wanting to die for you. Your loyalty is not fucking other people because we bring different things to the table. So when a man gains status and income and, goes up the ranks, the woman benefits alongside him. Women are not like that. When they become famous and they get money, if you're not rising with them or doing better, they're going to leave you. So this is why I tell guys never, oh, look, there you go. Yeah, see, there you go. That's modern feminism for y'all. Yeah, so so that's what it is, man. Like, I lost my train of thought there.
I know, right? I thought
Hey,
somebody got hit by a car or something.
They're black women too. That makes it even funnier. That's, bro, I can't, I hate being right all the time. But yeah, she just stopped in the street, started twerking, bro. And it's like, what happened to that simp 2 hours ago? Oh, bro, you talk about black women. Bro, they confirmed the stereotypes.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so, oh, shit, here we go. Here we go.
All I want to know is who's trying to be slick. Oh, all right, yeah.
Confirming the stereotypes. The chipping out, man. Shit crazy. You want to say something? Go ahead. Okay, let her talk. Let her say what she wants to say.
Aggressive.
Bro, I hate being right all the time. I'm
apologize for her.
vindicated.
She's a little drunk, She's not like this. I don't do this. Bye.
I'm vindicated. I'm vindicated, bro. Yo, did some nigga not come here like an hour and a half ago talking about you talking about black women? Blah, 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 blah.
I moved from London.
Hold on one second, bro. Hold on.
I moved from London 2
Hold
days
on.
ago.
Hold on. Like, did this not happen like literally 2 hours ago, sipping? And then what happens? The stereotype gets confirmed immediately. I hate being right all the fucking time, bro. What do you say? Yeah, black women, whatever, man. All right, go ahead. What's up?
I moved from London 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm living in Miami. This is my second night in Miami, and I love it. And I'm a total Brit from London, and I love it so much. But they say one thing in London: a lyric on a scale must weigh a ton, because this is a fact and not fiction.
Yeah, I don't know
Another
what
drink
you just
on
said,
you.
but- Bro, I don't know what the hell just happened. Okay. Yeah, who's up next? Hey, what's up?
Yeah. What's good, Myron? So
Yo.
I've been watching you for a few years now.
Hey, what's up,
and-
man?
No, I took a lot of your, I would say like your understanding with women.
Yeah.
I have a podcast myself. I just started.
All right.
And yeah. But yeah, basically, I'm coming on here just ask a few questions in regards to like starting a podcast and that involvement. I also do have my own co-host myself, right? So I kind of lost my voice as well, so it's kind of hard to hear me. But I'm just trying to ask for just advice on starting a podcast, like that process, especially in Miami, because everybody want to do a podcast nowadays.
Yeah, it's kind of saturated, so like you got to make sure that you bring something that's other people can't necessarily replicate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to stand out. That's really the best advice I give is like stand
Yeah.
out, be a good speaker, bring something different, you know, improvise. I mean, look at us, right? We're out here
In the
doing this
middle of
thing,
nowhere,
right? We
then-
normally
yeah.
did shit in the studio. Now we're out here improvising out in the streets. So you got to be able to adapt and kind of change with things. Also, right? I cover political content too. I've covered obviously what's going on with Iran and Israel, significantly how we need to stop supporting Israel. So I think being diversified, and then not just being diversified, but being good at what you talk about, it'll be important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because right now I'm on the same concept with women. You know, it's subjective when it comes to saying that women need to be in the kitchen, but in a way, it's like nowadays women their expectation is for us to be providers, right?
Yeah.
And when in a statement like that, nowadays women are doing better than us.
Yeah.
As men. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Miami, like a woman can get anywhere, basically. You know what I mean? And
Well, yeah, they can attack the candle from two different ends, right? They can,
Yeah.
you know, get a gentleman and take care of them, and then also they can enter the workforce and be a professional. So it's either or. So they can kind of do both.
But what made you want to, like, I guess, come up with that idea of saying that women need to just be completely in the kitchen? Like, do you feel like women should have a right to, like, make more money, or just, like, you know what I mean? It's not like defeating what you're saying, because I agree. I have my own podcast. We talk about relationships and toxic relationships as well. But what made you think that, like, women should just completely just be in the kitchen? And
Well, this is my opposition to feminism.
yeah,
When I say this, it's a statement that challenges the current culture with feminism. But let's get somebody else on, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So for those of you that are here, the topic is women should be in the kitchen, or we're also discussing Israel-Iran, why us bombing Iran was a big mistake, and us getting involved in the conflict was a big mistake, and we should stop giving aid to Israel. Go ahead.
So I wanted to ask, what's your advice? Like, this is kind of off topic, but what do you have to say to a streamer who wants to be successful? Any advice to that?
Well, like with the other gentleman, you got to be able to stand out,
Yeah.
right? Everyone and their mom wants to be a podcaster and or a streamer nowadays, so you got to be able to stand out and really have a command on whatever your niche is, and be able to speak about it in a way where you're educated, you're articulate, people want to listen to you, you're charismatic, and kind of go from there.
I got you.
Otherwise, you'll have to do like retard content where you're doing stupid shit all the time to get views. So
Yeah.
it's one of the two. You're either going to use your brain or you're going to use, ridiculous stunts to get viewership. I think using your brain is the best way to go.
Yeah, I wanna pursue like that type of stuff. But like I'm actually providing like educational like type of stuff, like on options trading and stuff.
Well, if you're good at what you do and you know it very well, then that could definitely be a lane.
I know I got some traction like in the past like week, and I'm really going with it.
All right, cool. Who's
thank
up
you.
next? Women deserve less, aka they should be in the kitchen, or no more aid to Israel. What's up? Okay, so we'll be down on the audio for a second. Yes. Out here. Yes. Okay, yeah.
Just out here.
We'll
The
do a
stream
quick.
will still be on.
Okay, yeah. Let's just make that switch quick then. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? So I was here a little bit earlier, and I heard you talk. Hey, I heard you say.
I'm sorry.
I was here a little bit earlier, and I heard you say about talk about women being submissive. So,
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? What do you mean by submissive? Just so you know where I'm coming from. I'm a conservative. So I think I'm not too far from where you are, but I have big differences, at least in the way that you articulate that.
They should obey their man and follow their man's lead.
Okay, so that's what you mean by being submissive.
Yeah.
So you're saying that in general, you're generalizing, I'm assuming, right? Like, do you mean that a woman should be submissive to a man that is perhaps abusing the women, or perhaps has not the best ideas, perhaps someone that is not educated or informed about certain things? Like, what do you mean by submissive? Because I can also see scenarios where a man abuses a woman, right? And the woman, should that woman be submissive?
Well, that's where we got to see. This is the thing. Your question in itself is the problem, right? Because your premise is, should they be submissive to a loser? That shouldn't even be a question, because they should have the ability to pick the right guy, right? Like that shouldn't even be a question where they're there with a guy that is hating them or doing some bullshit
When
or
you're
isn't a
talking about
provider.
a population of 300 million people, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to make bad choices. Like that happens every day. That happens with everyone.
Yeah, but
Even-
but women are adults. They're, consenting, lucid individuals. Like they should have the wherewithal to understand, okay, this guy is worthy of someone that I'm going to follow or not. So they should be
Okay,
able to identify
let's
a
assume
guy that's
that
going to
it's
be a
sm-
competent
that is-
partner.
that is a smart dude, educated, but he's still, even as a smart person, educated, you can make bad decisions. So shouldn't the women have a backbone and say, hey, that's not the right choice? Like, let's think about this. And let's go even further. Like, if you think about business, for example, nowadays the best corporations are they want different ideas, right? And that includes having women in the workforce. So by you silencing the women and by them being submissive, aren't you, I guess, making that couple less than optimal?
I'm not saying that she can't suggest anything or be involved in the decision-making process, but what I am saying is that the guy's got to be the final decision maker and the head of the household. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, her opinion can go into things when when he's making a decision. He'll take her input, right? Because that's just like common sense and good diplomacy. But in general, the man needs to be the decider and the final word. But the problem is that it's always the woman that's the final word, or guys say stupid shit like happy wife, happy life, or let me run this by my wife. That's ridiculous to me. Any guy that sits there and needs to consult with his wife, that's pathetic.
I was with you. I think for the most part of what you said, but then you're saying, "Let me run this by my wife." What's wrong with that? If you're a team, right, and let's
That's
say you
pathetic.
even have kids, like you should be consulting with your partner, right?
There's
Otherwise-
sometimes where you're going to need to make executive decisions as the man, and you're
yeah,
not
of
going
course.
to want your input with your woman, or you need to do what you need to do.
I think that happens in both cases. Like
No,
women,
she
whether
cannot
you
make
wanna-
executive decisions without your authority. That's the problem.
Why is that? Why is that?
Okay. In every successful business, every country, etc., there's always going to be an official decision maker, whether it's the president of the United States, the CEO of a company, etc. They make the final decisions, and there's times where there's going to be executive decisions made without her knowing or her being involved or whatever, and that's how it needs to be. And the man needs to be the one that's always making that decision, not her. This concept of egalitarianism and we're a team, that's bullshit feminist propaganda. There is no team.
I agree with a
'Cause,
egalitarian
let me explain
view on
this.
things.
You're only a
Or the
team
not
as long as you are the coach. As soon as you no longer are the coach and you become a player, she doesn't want to play with you anymore. So I think it's very important that men understand that women deal with men from an opportunistic standpoint, and they deal with men from an extraction of value standpoint. Women don't want equals, despite the fact that they say that. They want a superior. So if I come into a relationship being the superior, and then I tell her, oh, you could go ahead and make decisions alongside me, we're equal, I've basically denigrated myself to her level. And that's not what she signed up for. Now, women will sit there and say, I want to equal, but that's not true. They want a guy that's going to be decisive and in charge. Now, are there situations where you might want her input? Sure. But as the man, you reserve the right to make executive decisions without her permission, without her being involved. Anytime I meet a guy and he tells me I got to run it by my wife, 9 out of 10 times, that woman runs the relationship and he's a pussy. And that's a problem.
But wait, you're like generalizing. Like I'm sort of directionally in your camp, but it's just a way that you generalize things. It just doesn't sound. It just doesn't sound right. I mean, there's certain scenarios where you can make that executive decision. I understand, but I think for most important life-changing decisions, you need to consult with your spouse or with your significant other.
What I'm saying is that that's a privilege, not a right. So when you consult with her, that's a privilege you're affording her, but it is not a right.
So okay. All right. Thanks for your time.
And here, look, I get it. You want to be politically correct. I don't want to use you as an example.
I don't believe in political correct. I mean,
you did. Yeah, because you're taking point of contention with the way I'm conveying the information. I think that's precisely the problem.
No.
We need to go back. Hold on.
Look, let's
let me
talk
say
about
what I'm going to say here.
In corporate America.
The
In corporate
framing-
America, the executive, the CEO cannot just make decisions by themselves. I mean, he can. He has the
Yeah, he
authority
can.
likely, but he needs to consult with his advisors. Otherwise, because he doesn't always have the right views, nor is he an expert in all the many different areas that are around the business. So you need to consult with your advisors and the people that are expert in those
Him
areas.
consulting, what I'm trying
Otherwise,
to explain
you're
to you,
making a less
him
than optimal
consulting with
decision.
those advisors is a privilege, okay? And this is the problem. Like, I get it. You're saying, hey, well, you know, in this sir, I would argue, I'm not attacking you, but your rhetoric, your mindset, this is why so many men fail with women, because they have this, oh, let's go ahead and have a democracy and people vote type mindset with women. Women don't operate that way. They are not equals to us. You're operating from the frame of they're equal, they're logically sound, they can decide and use deductive problem solving like men. They're not deductive problem solvers like us. And I know this is politically incorrect to say this, but that's just how it is. And I would argue, not only are they not deductive problem solvers a lot of the time, they want you to be that guy and just make the decision without them. Women want guys who are going to take charge and make decisions with or without them. Now, again, are there situations where she can have the privilege of being involved? Sure. But in general, women want leaders, and we live in this pussified, feminized, gynocentric society where we care more about her feelings versus what needs to get done.
Yeah.
I think men need to be able to make executive decisions. If he wants to go ahead and make a financial decision, maybe he's purchasing something, running it by your wife, that's pathetic. That's whack.
I think you have good ideas, and I'll repeat. I'm like a broken record here, but I think there's something with delivering the message. There's something that I think you.
That's the
you
problem.
Need,
Like,
you
you
no,
care
wait,
more
wait,
about
wait,
how
wait,
the
I
message
think.
is
Wait,
delivered.
hold on a
That's the
second.
issue.
I think
that's why we have the problems in America that we have now. This political correctness, this wanting to appease to the female with the way women think. That's the problem, man. That's the problem. This political correctness and this softness and caring about feelings, that's precisely why we have the problems that we have. That guy earlier that came in talking about immigration. Oh, well, hate in his heart, blah, blah, blah. That's pussiness. That is why we have the issues that we have. If we're going to sit here and worry about people's feelings or the way information is conveyed, that is how we ended up with 99 genders. That is how we ended up with gays adopting kids. This is how we end up with the fucked up world that we have now because we're so concerned with people's feelings versus doing what needs to be done. Go ahead, man. What's up?
Thank you. First, I just want to
I'll cut the audio here for 1 second. All right. 1 sec. We're going to cut the audio real fast. They're doing a quick little switch. But,
like,
oh, okay. All right. Okay, we're back up on. Well, I know the speaker. All right. On camera now. I don't know if they can hear me though. They can hear me? Jack, can you guys hear me? All right. Okay, so his question was, I'll speak louder so everybody can hear me. His question was, what are the 3 main reasons women should be in the kitchen, right? That's the question?
yeah.
Well, number one, it's more of a, euphemism to describe that feminism is a problem, right? Well, what feminism has done is that it's blurred the lines between what men are supposed to do versus what women are supposed to do. And what's happened is it's confused both genders. And when both genders are confused doing the other gender's job, what ends up happening is nobody's happy. The women are behaving like men, and they complain that they can't find men, and then the men are behaving like women, and they can't find women. So whenever you blur the lines between gender roles, everybody loses because no one's able to really get what they want out of the opposite gender because the roles aren't defined, and this is a byproduct of feminism. Most importantly, made it as if men and women are equal. You got to back up. Bear with us, guys, on the stream. Oh, heard that. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
Yeah, I'm about to cook. Good, bro. I'm gonna leave him speechless.
Huh. All right. Okay. I can hear the speaker back again. So, all right. Well, go ahead, man. What do you want to say?
You only said one of your points. You only didn't say the rest of the two of them. You only said one of the points that they serve each other's purpose. Like the woman, like they're mixing too much, right? That's what you said.
The gender lines are blurred, and the roles are confused.
But there shouldn't be any gender lines to begin with.
Tuh.
Women and men, they both serve their same purposes. Maybe you might think that theirs is only in the kitchen. But if women stopped working, that's 48% of the workforce all year round, all around the world. Who's going to be working? There's not enough people to work. You're going to be pulling up into coffee shops without anybody.
All right. So, okay. So your argument is that men and women are equal.
They are.
Okay. All right. So you think that men and women are equal? I mean, that's factually incorrect. They're biologically very different.
Somebody has a dick, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
They're different.
Well, here's the thing. The fact that we have a dick and they have a vagina absolutely changes the mind, the body, the biology, how they interpret things. That just by that alone, it's not just a genital switch. It's we have completely different chemistry and wiring. So we are not the same at all. So your argument kind of falls flat on its face because you're arguing that men and women are equal, which is biologically incorrect. So everything that you build upon that is wrong.
Biologically doesn't mean that we can't do the same things. Biologically doesn't mean that. Maybe when we were hunter-gatherers and men had to go chase bears and stuff like that, women can't do that.
Okay.
But now we're not like that. Now
So,
we're working in computers.
Here's the thing. Just because women are capable of doing things that men are capable of doing doesn't mean that it's optimal, okay? So can women do things that men do? Yeah, but not to the same level.
Then
They
why
suck
are
at it.
50% of bosses, administrative positions, women?
Yeah, but CEOs are run by men. And the other thing too is that what's up?
Bro, it's hot as fuck out here, bro.
Wow. All right, for the audience that's here that are wondering, the fire truck is here now because fucking comedy. Because the girl that was twerking dropped their phone in the drain. She called 911. Bro, the niggatry, man. Anyway. Yeah, so look, man, I'll be honest with you. How old are you?
16.
Yeah, that's the problem. So
16.
Yeah, 16. So, look, bro, you're a young guy. You don't really know how the world works yet. Like, you kind of go off what you learned in high school, and they're telling you that men and women are equal, etc. The reality is that we're very different, and as you age, you're going to start to realize that women are not like us, and we are not like them at all. Just because they're capable of doing certain things doesn't mean that it's optimal. There's a reason why there's an NBA and a WNBA. There's a reason why there's a women's soccer team and a men's soccer
And it's
team.
optimal for them to be in the kitchen?
Yeah,
And it's not optimal for them to be doing maybe something else not in the kitchen?
It's optimal for them to
maybe
be
not being
focusing.
CEOs. You said most CEOs are men.
When I
Maybe
say
they're not
hold on,
optimal to be
bro,
CEOs.
hold on. When I say that they need to be in the kitchen, what I'm saying is they need to be focusing on having a family and children and being married to a man over their career. That's my argument.
That depends, bro. That depends. Because what if they can't afford to only have one worker in the family?
They can't afford what?
To only have one person working. only one working. Like they can't afford it. Like they need two people bringing in income.
Well, that's where she becomes intelligent and finds a guy that can take care
No,
of
'cause
her
it's-
and
I
him.
can't hear myself. It's not loud enough.
That's where she's got to be intelligent enough to find a guy that can take care of her. And here's the other thing too.
But not
Look,
all men can make that amount of
sure,
income.
Sure. If a woman's gonna work, I think if she works a little bit, maybe from home or something, and she focuses on the kids, that's okay. But the point is that my issue is where she starts to prioritize career over family. That's my problem. Does that make sense?
Nobody should prioritize career over family.
No, men should do that.
So you think men should just leave their kids at home, go work
No,
all day,
they
not
need
see
to.
them?
They need to prioritize so that they can eventually have a family later on. For women, it doesn't work
But
that
then
way.
their kids are going to be, what, 12, 15 when they prioritize the family. Their kids are going to be way too deep in the livelihood they're going to be living. Most like families that have income involved, their kids go to jail. Like, you know that. You know that. That's
Actually,
true.
it's the contrary. Two-parent households are one of the best ways to kids from going to jail.
Yeah, that's what I just said. But
Yeah,
then
but
the
what I'm
dad's
saying
never
is that the
there.
man
used to not having their dad there. Maybe their dad not teaching them, not putting them straight, because can't really, like, a mom can't educate the sons.
You're all over the place. I'm saying a two-parent household where the guy's the predominant breadwinner is the best way to go with things.
Yeah,
okay?
but you just said if they should prioritize their work first,
Yes.
they can't be at home.
Yes, so that means if they got to work long hours to take care of the family so the woman can stay there with the kids, that they need to do that.
But then
Because
that's only
with
one
men,
person in the household.
With men, what I'm telling you is men have to prioritize their careers. Women can need a family because with men, our duty is to provide for our family. So for us to prioritize our career, that allows us to earn more money for our family. And then eventually, if you prioritize your career enough, you can get to a point where you have enough money where you can slowly start to back off. You make a smart investments, you make a lot of money, you can go out and start to buy that time back. But that starts with prioritizing your ability to earn. With it doesn't work. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
But you said that he has to make more money. That's why he's working so long. Maybe if they both work, they don't have to put in that much work and they can home.
What I'm telling you is it works when men prioritize their career. It doesn't work when women prioritize
Why
their
not?
career. Because men, there's a burden on us to create and provide. There's no burden of performance on women to do that.
Who said that?
Nobody cares about a woman. Nobody
But they
cares how
still
much
work.
they make or their career. Nobody cares.
They still work.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
Why not? Who doesn't? I don't
Men
know a
don't
single
care about
person that doesn't care.
No guy comes in and says, "Oh my God, she's a CEO." No.
Yeah,
no
that's
guy.
pretty hot. If they can lead a fucking company, that's pretty good, bro.
Look, bro, you're 16, man. With all due respect, you don't know anything.
Oh, alright.
So like,
Alright, fresh and fit.
Like,
Alright.
promise you, as you get older, you care less and less about a woman's career, and the more money
No,
and
I
status you
know I
acquire,
am, but I'm not saying they should be in the kitchen.
They should be.
I don't think they should.
All right, yeah, 16 years old, bro. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, I know. You hear me? What's up, Myron? How we doing, bro?
yo, all right, what? All right, that's fine.
Hello? Tess? You good?
Oh, fuck. All right.
All right. Hey, Myron. How's it going?
Yo.
I actually found out about you about around 10,000 subscribers a few years ago. So.
Can you turn him up, bro? I could barely hear him.
Yeah, here we are. A little bit closer? Better?
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, I found out about the show about when you got to like 10K subscribers back in the day.
Okay.
So it was really
So
cool
from
to
the
check
beginning,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. So back in the day. Just kind of, I'm pretty neutral on a lot of shit. Obviously, I think my question is just kind of related to this in a way of like international. So I travel a lot, go to a lot of different countries. A lot of countries you mentioned in the show, Brazil, Poland, Peru, like traditional feminine countries, right? And the women do treat you completely different than the States. And so I guess seeing the traditional culture and around different countries in Europe and South America, I'm about to go to Asia soon in this fall. What do you recommend for someone in like, let's say their 20s, building a business remotely, going around the world, in terms of, timing of settling down, looking at, potential girlfriends, what that looks like?
So,
Just kind of get your opinion on it.
Like, as far as like finding a girl and like the way finding a girl now.
Yeah, because like I feel like the States is kind of on its
It's cooked.
way down. It's fucked.
It's cooked,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, can you still find a girl in the U.S.? Of course, but I think guys got to just understand that a lot of girls adopt feminist ideologies. That's just not going to serve you. So I think the important thing for guys is to date girls quickly if they have feminist ideology.
Yeah.
If they do, be cautious about wiping them up.
Okay.
That's what it
Gotcha.
really comes down to. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
date from a defensive perspective.
Yeah. And so in terms of like, I know I kind of know like how you would frame your relationship, but like if you were to do something more international, like do you have places you recommend? I Warsaw, I did Krakow, Poland was great.
Yeah, people talk about Poland and South America and stuff. You know, if you want to go ahead and do the whole passport bro thing.
Yeah.
But the big thing about being a passport bro is like you got to kind of keep them there. Don't bring them here.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what my friends tell me. Like if you're gonna go over there, you gotta.
Yeah,
stay
you
there.
got to. Yeah, you got to keep over there, bro. You can't bring them over here. It's gonna get cooked.
Okay.
All your hard work will be undone quickly.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You know.
And then another thing I know in law, I know you were in special forces and stuff as well. In terms of trying to keep yourself like trying to mitigate risk, trying to move forward, because the way I look at it is that with the girl, 5 years to get married, whatever, but there's another 20, 30, 40 years it's possible divorce, so you can leave you any time. So obviously, asset protection, whatever. Do you have any other maybe
Yeah,
tips?
just
in terms
don't
of
get married with the state is my
the
thing.
state, okay.
State, like whatever you do, like don't get married with the state. I would say like focus on getting married where the state's not involved. Maybe a religious ceremony. If you're Muslim, go to the mosque. If you're a Christian, go to the church. Like get it done under God, not without paperwork, and you'll be good. Problem is that you want to ensure that she's not incentivized to divorce you, because that's the problem with the way divorce works now is women are incentivized to divorce you because they get a lot of benefit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you got to remove that incentive.
Okay, gotcha. I appreciate it.
No worries, man. Thank you, bro. Chats? All right, I'll read these. All right. So I'm currently a first-year CDL truck driver. A lot of weirdos out here, man. But my question is, how should I value my time and my money? I'm very interested in getting commercial pilot license. Do it on the side, bro. Gifted one sub, Dirty Harry. Thank you. Trippy Blue. Chief Myron, solo black dude, bro. He's fucking retarded, bro. Yo, like all the stereotypes that I talk about in the black community just came true. Ratchet ass hoes, dumb niggas, bro. Like dropping a phone and getting in the fire department here. Like, bro, it's crazy, man. How, yes, bro. Just to my fellow Hispanic that's crying about police profiling. How about you stop dressing like an illegal? Big L with that Brokeback Mountain outfit, okay? And isolated doing exactly what they're supposed to do isn't racist. It's called doing your job, yeah, bro. It's amazing how people cannot dissociate the fact from. Yes, coming here illegally is a crime, yeah. Groiper says, I understand now why we need mass re-educational camps, waits to schools. Yeah, guys, I'm telling y'all, bro, when you're out here in the public, you realize how retarded so many people are. This chick got to leave. I can't stand lefties just because of the feelings and subversive signaling. They will burn their own homes to the ground. Yep. There, Myron, most diversified podcast, hand down. Huge L, Unk chimping out, improving stereotypes in real time. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Slave Master Myron for the win. Facts. Yeah, send that nigga to Tel Aviv. I am the slave master. Definitely self-defense on that FBA gorilla. Yeah, bro. Bro, nigga's face, man. Blonde said she agrees, but she wasn't in the kitchen herself. Okay. Bro, wait till the OSS be at these street debates. These niggas will not be on shit, bro. I know, I'm telling you. Let me be your security since Florida stand your ground. I can. Oh, God. Okay. Are we back up? Let's get the next person on.
The last one was DPG. There's 100.
Yeah, find it for me. All right, again, guys, so the topic is women should be in the kitchen and all aid to Israel. And Israel is a terrorist state. 2 prompts. I don't have it here. Do we have the Israel sign by chance or nah? We don't have one? Can we make one?
Raj saying $100 on CastleClub.
All right, what Raj say? Oh, shout out to Raj with the W Myron, $100. Yeah, appreciate that.
DPG,
Yeah.
$300.
DPG says WMO, aka Pumbaa, W Bills, aka Timon and Pumbaa, making it happen behind the cameras. Credit to Quick Slap. Like the video, guys. Myron, why are you getting gray hairs in real time? That's crazy, bro. People are retarded, bro. Common sense isn't common anymore in 2025. So yeah, guys, that's the thing. Women belong in the kitchen or no aid to Israel. And I think that our military operation last week was a failure. We shouldn't have gotten involved. Iran is still going to make nukes. And the war's not over. The ceasefire is not going to last long whatsoever. So yeah. Everybody's terrified, right? What's up? Yeah. And also, what I'll probably do, guys, I think I'm going to probably do a stream after this one. jump on. Yeah, I'll jump on and do a debrief. Yeah, I'll cover the news and shit like that. I might go on after, do a all-nighter with whatever. But yeah. No one else. Huh? Everyone's just watching, and everyone agrees that Israel should not get any aid, and women should be in the kitchen. Did he? Bro, I think he's cooked, man. Yeah, because they only got to convict him of like one freak-off, pretty much. Like, you know, he's probably going to get convicted more than likely. Exactly, yeah. They got to just prove 2 predicate offenses, which is going to be easy to do. You know, just with him distributing drugs alone, they got him on that. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
There was one guy arguing earlier about how there's a minority of women where it's actually in their best interest to work because they're like good at their jobs and they make money. But I would argue that might be the case until maybe they're 30, 35 and they start to realize they don't have a family, they don't have a husband or kids because they focus so much on their careers. What would you think about that?
That's true, man. I can't, like, you know, a lot of times women will, you know, enter the professional world. They'll get into their late 20s or 30s or into their 30s. They have a kid, and then they immediately start cutting back hours, and they start focusing on the family. It happens all the time in the professional world. So, you know, look, I'm not opposed to women entering the workforce, so to speak, because I get that, like, you know, you got to make a living in this hyperinflation inflation world. But my problem is that women prioritize career to the detriment of the family, and on top of that, they don't feel as though they need to do anything to serve a man. They think that their career and their credentials is what we're interested in. The reality is, like, no.
Right.
I think most men, being honest here, most guys would prefer a 21-year-old girl that wants to be a wife that isn't a whore, that isn't the most intense. You know, like, we're going to go for the broke girl that's 21, that's young, and has a good mindset over the girl that's 30 years old that makes $500K per year. And this is what women need to understand, is that, like, their capacity to earn money doesn't matter. You have something you want to say? See, that's the thing, right?
She had 2 words.
Yeah, like, it's funny. Feminists come and then say their stupid shit, and then they can't have their points.
Prove the whole point.
You know what I mean? It's like they'll just come in and say, that's misogynist. It's like, no, it's being a realist.
There
right?
was
like,
one more thing. There was another argument someone made. They said that they shouldn't have the right to tell their girlfriend what to do.
Yeah.
But I would also argue if you have to put your life on the line to defend her, shouldn't you be able to say, don't Allie?
Absolutely. I gave that example earlier with the Secret Service and Trump.
Right.
Like, without contributing, and then that's the problem. And I'm here to tell all the guys, bro, if your girl doesn't obey you, if she doesn't listen to what she's supposed to do, she dresses when you tell her not to, she wants to entertain other men, break up with her immediately.
At the same time,
what was that? They're useless to society.
Completely.
Lesbians and gay in society, if we're gonna be honest.
I will say though, when you say they should be in the kitchen, you mean they should be cooking us food, right?
And making sandwiches.
So here's the thing though, out of my 3 relationships, 2 of them, they were super awesome, but their food was horrible. Like, I'm sorry, like, I just cooked better, so I ended up making the food, and then, like, they would clean and stuff, but I think the problem is that their mother passed that down the way that we otherwise have all the other generations.
You could teach them or put them in a cooking school. There's cooking schools out there for girls.
Instead of college, maybe?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It'd be cheaper, too.
Yep,
Save
and
a
they
lot
don't
of
become sluts. Because a lot of girls, let's be honest, a lot of girls go to college, spend that 4 years as a way to just become whores.
Yeah.
They join a sorority party, do keggers, you know, sit there and say, I'm pursuing my career, or I'm trying to get a degree.
Learn how to roll dough before you learn how to be a hoe, maybe.
Yeah, bro. Like, I tell guys all the time, if your girl was like in a sorority or some shit, man.
Yeah, no, I'm trying that.
no bueno.
That's no good. That's no good.
Bueno.
Get him, Myron.
All right, bro. Anytime, man. Good to see you again. All right. Who else? Anybody? No aid to Israel, and women need to be in the kitchen. It's ridiculous. $300. Shout out W? Okay, shout out to you, Diglets. You guys are feeling my pain with these discussions. Oh, what's up, man?
How you doing, bro?
What's up?
I just wanted to ask, what's your stance on the Palestine and Israel situation?
We should not give any more aid to Israel whatsoever.
Whatsoever,
Yeah, they're a genocidal apartheid state that's killing innocent people every single day.
Yeah.
Taking people in Gaza.
Wow.
And the state of Israel pretty much reported that they killed somewhere between 20,000 Hamas fighters.
Yeah.
So, but okay, what about the other 300,000 that are under the rubble that got pulverized from the bombing?
Oh, you're right.
So,
you
I think more Americans need to wake up and realize that our tax dollars are being used to fund basically a ethnic cleansing / genocide out in Gaza.
So I just moved to Miami, and I was just thinking, like, what's the, like, there's a lot of, like, I felt like a lot of Jewish people here. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to offend anyone, but what is it like anti-Semite, like, being here? Like, is there a lot of, like people be on your ass for it?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's important for people to understand that there's a lot of Jewish people that oppose what's going on in Gaza. This isn't a Jewish problem. It's a Zionist problem. So, you know, some of the people that are actually, some of the best people that are talking about this topic are actually Jewish. You know, you talk about guys like Dave Smith, Max Blumenthal, Norman Finkelstein. You know, there's so many people out there that are talking about these problems. So it's clearly not a Jewish problem because some of these people are the biggest voices for talking about, you know, a two-state solution or, you know, trying to end the war or the conflict. So I think it's a bad political ideology.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's Christian evangelicals. Matter of fact, most Zionists are Christian evangelicals. They're some of the biggest supporters of Israel, and they're retards. So yeah.
Yeah, I honestly agree with 100% of the things you say.
Sure.
I just want to say, where's Walter? Where's Walter at?
He was here earlier. I don't know where he went.
I met him last week. I just want to.
Yeah, he was here. I don't know what happened.
Word. All right. So it's free Palestine?
Bro, it's always free Palestine, man.
All right, cool. I appreciate it.
It's always free Palestine, man. Yeah. No. Oh, you said you're Palestinian? Okay. Hey, man, some of y'all niggas are incognito, bro. I like it. Now, my family's from Sudan, so.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on spiritual evolution?
What? Spiritual evolution?
Spiritual evolution, XXX Tentacion, Juice World.
Not familiar, man. That's out of my depth.
So spiritual evolution covers the facets of life that we can't see. So it enables you to create, believe, and innovate. Steve Jobs. He's alive. They say it's dead, but if we're around, we can do.
Yeah, I think chivalry is dead, bro. I mean,
it is alive. My name is Chivalry. It's alive.
I think it's dead, bro, and women killed it.
Well, you feel free to think it's dead, but it's alive.
Women killed it.
Women killed it?
Yeah.
But are all girls the same?
Yeah, surprisingly, a lot of them are.
But,
contrary to what people think, they are very similar.
But there's outliers. You feel me? There's people that are different. I feel you. I feel you being hurt.
But we can't make general decisions based off of outliers. Does that make sense? Like, you know, a lot of women have a certain mindset and behave a certain way. We need to adapt to the new normal, not what we hope. It's got to be what it is. So when I say chivalry is dead, and it's because women have killed it, right? You know, women prefer a bad boy over a nice guy, right? This is also a part of feminism as well. Nice guys get why does it say nice guys finish last? Product of chivalry being dead.
I mean, case by case, you know, case by case. Because if you like a generalization,
case by case, it's a nice guys finish last. Is my point most of the time.
But finish last in what regard?
They don't get the girl. They get left out for the bad boy. Like a lot of guys.
So we're prioritizing hooking up and supercars and designer brands over fulfilling life?
No, that's what women are prioritizing, which is the problem.
But what are you prioritizing?
That's irrelevant. I'm telling you what women are prioritizing to make my argument about why chivalry is dead.
Chivalry is alive and well.
Okay, sure. If you think that
it is,
that's fine.
It is a fact. It's an etched fact.
It's dead, my friend.
God believes in me. I believe
only
in God.
want chivalry from
alive.
a small percentage of men.
I love you. Chivalry is alive and well.
No, it's dead.
It's alive and well.
It is dead for the majority of men.
Alive
Women
and
will
well.
only accept chivalry from men that they are attracted to and that they want. Regular guys, you exercise chivalry, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Why? Why? Curious.
Why?
Why are you shooting yourself in the foot?
As a normal guy?
Why normal guy? We're all unique. Juice World.
The definition of normal means the majority.
But why would you want to be normal? You want to work in an office, a 9 to 5? You want to fit in?
That's most people, bro.
But why most people? Everyone.
Yeah, just next. This guy's
Chivalry's alive and
operating
well.
in reality,
It's
man.
okay to have a disagreement. I still love you, bro. It's okay.
It's not about that. It's about we can't even come to a foundational, objective middle ground. So
God is not objective. He encompasses more. Have a good day, brother.
Yeah, bro. It's the feels versus the reals, man. It's crazy.
Hi. Well, I absolutely disagree with that. Because
With what?
why
Wait, what do you disagree
women
with?
should be in the kitchen?
Oh, okay.
Why the best chef in the restaurants, in the best restaurants like Michelin restaurants, are men.
Yeah. Yeah, so men are better than women at everything. Yeah. So what's your point?
No, that's not fair.
What's not fair?
Well, women not the best in everything.
No, I said men are better than women at almost everything.
Nah, I disagree. Well,
All right, name one thing women are better than men at then. That men and women could both compete in. Having kids doesn't count because only you can do
okay,
that.
having kids, yes.
No, that doesn't count because only women can do that. So in a arena where both parties can actually compete, what are women better than men at?
Well, unless if you get pregnant, you will get $1 million, I think. We said if men get pregnant, I know.
Okay, the answer is women suck at everything. Men are better than women at almost
Men
everything.
not
That's the
suck.
answer.
No.
That's the answer.
Hey, woman.
Women suck at
you
almost
agree with
everything when competing against men. That's why like high school boys like beat professional female athletes. Nobody watches the WNBA, sucks. We watch the NBA. Nobody watches female sports. Watch male sports. Like, it's just the truth, man. Anybody else? Why women should be in the kitchen or why we need to stop giving aid to Israel? I gotta take a piss. One of y'all can hop on the thing and read the chats while I go run real quick. You or Bills, one of y'all.
Anybody want to talk about the
Anybody else have anything? No more aid to Israel. Women should be in the kitchen. I mean, I think if you read chats and then go anywhere, that's cool. But yeah, I'll answer. I'll do one more and then I'll go run real quick. Cause I'm trying to think where I can run a Chipotle. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Hey, all of y'all out here, someone needs to put on deodorant because it smells like Badussy over there. And I'm being mad serious. I'm being mad serious. Like, it smells so bad. All right, peace out.
Okay.
We don't condone this, nigga. We outside. Myron, can I tell you what happened with the hoe?
What happened?
Let me tell you. Okay, now I got it on video. The bitch, okay, so she was twerking, right? Ladies, pay attention. I want you to hear this. This just happened.
I'm gonna run.
Just let me tell you what happened.
Let him tell the story.
Go ahead. Let me use the bathroom. I got you. Shout out to Fresh and Fit Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it pushing right. Let me tell you something what just happened, ladies, and I got it all on video. The bitch that was over here twerking and shit, yeah, the bitch that was over here, shout out to Myron. The bitch that was over here twerking and stuff like that, she dropped her phone. Now, I got it on video right. All right, everybody, pay around. Look, have a look. Bam, right there. Look, you see that? Everybody see it? Everybody see it, right? Her phone fucking drops. Oh, hold on, slow it down. Her phone dropped in the sewer. If you want to see it right there, slow it down. It drops in the sewer, right? What? Who we talking about? Oh, that camera. Oh, right there. Okay, yeah, we outside. Nigga, camera two. Cut. Look, the phone drops into the sewer, right? Because his friend was twerking like crazy, causing a commotion, right? Now then, she calls him trying to come to get it back, and then she says, oh my God, my phone dropped into the sewer. Hey, do me a favor, hold that real quick. My bad. Her in the sewer, that's my guy right there. And then I told her, I'll get it out for you. It just requires a little manpower. Oh, you can get it out? What are you gonna do? I said, bitch, give me $400. $400 to lift up this motherfucking manhole so that we can help you the fuck out and get this shit out. She said, no, that's too much. I said, well, get it yourself, bitch. I can do it myself. Then do it your goddamn self. Why the fuck would you have a friend out here that caused you to lose your phone and then now it's in the goddamn sewer hanging out with SpongeBob and they all float. That motherfucker didn't float. You know what I'm saying? And then when I tell you, hey, I'll get it out for $400, it's too much money. But I can do it. I can do it myself. Then do it your fucking self. Stop having friends out here that got you doing whole shit and then you lose your phone, and then when it happens to put some elbow grease and get that motherfucker out for $4, it's too much money. Bitch, now I gotta get dirty. I gotta fucking touch the roaches and shit like that. I gotta immediately go home and take a shower. I gotta do a lot. So $400 is cheap compared to the insurance. Now let me tell you something else, women. I'm gonna tell you like this. At the end of the day, here's how a lot of you women are letting bitches make you look bad. Bitches and women are not the same thing. I didn't make up the word bitch. Why are you calling women bitches? I'm not calling you a bitch. We outside. But at the end of the day, men and women go together. Niggas and bitches go together. Ladies and gentlemen go together. boys and girls, and we all, we got to be right, gays and gays. Them niggas don't need to go together. They need to stop going anywhere. But at the end of the day, here's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Women provide an integral part to the peace of a man. If you could be a nigga's peace, he'll do anything. But at the end of the day, in order to be peaceful, you have to provide peace. No nigga wants to come about what he's saying. Fucking true. If you're a traditional man, go be back to being a traditional fucking woman. Shut the fuck up. Making it so difficult for niggas to treat you right when bitches are out here doing 10 times more for 10 times less.
Who's up next? Who's up next? Again, guys, the topic is women belong in the kitchen or stop all aid to Israel. Those topics? Stop all aid to Israel or women belong in the kitchen. Pretty much. Or anything else that people want. We got about one more hour out here, so yeah, we got about another hour, so we can open it up for other topics as well. Yeah, how long do you think we got? About 45 minutes for the generator? Okay. Yeah, we're running on generator chat, so. Yeah, join CastleClub, guys. Obviously, promo right now, CC17. Join the OSS. Them Boys 911 or JFK 911. Is the promo code? Oh my, that's the promo code. That's the promo code. Yeah, JFK11, bro. We know who killed them. Who killed JFK? Oh. Okay, everybody. All right, cool. This is great. It's great. You want me to read some chats? Huh?
Because I had skipped.
Guys, it is hot in Miami. It is like 85 degrees. Did he cry when the deported the chief Obama was doing this? Oh, shit. He doesn't know, Myron. He's about to go off on him. Read that one. Hey, if we could cue the monkey. Yo, Myron, that 16-year-old schooled you ass.
For a 16-year-old?
Yeah, nigga, you simping for a 16-year-old, bro? You fucking weirdo. I gotta embarrass this nigga. ABSW Presto? You a retard, bro. That nigga is simping, bro. That girl, she should be at home studying.
He doing it on CastleClub.
Bro, what's up with these young girls, man, that are out here on Saturday nights dressed like sluts, man? Where are the fathers? Shit's crazy, bro.
Hey, yo, how controversial you trying to get right now?
I mean, whatever, man, what's up?
How you feel about IQ?
IQ?
IQ. Let me hear something.
Well, there have been some studies out there. There was actually a big meta-analysis on this. I think they spent like $1 billion, something wild like that. They found was, in general.
Spit it out.
No, well, Asians tend to have IQs, followed by white people, then followed by Hispanics, and then Africans tend to have the lowest.
And I can't argue with them numbers, but no IQ study is ever controlled environment.
Okay.
So how can you? Those answers invalid. Like the conclusions are invalid. They don't control for environment. Environment heavily affects IQ.
If that's
are you agreeing with me right now?
Is that your argument?
Wait, you changing your mind right now?
So your argument is that basically that it's not controlled for environment, so therefore it's not valid?
Exactly that. You agree? Wait, hold on. Did I just change your mind that fast?
No, you didn't.
Because I tell a podcast in the past where you said, and I ain't even mad at this because I seen the studies too. Black people got the lowest IQ, Asians at the top, white people fall in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
None of those studies control for environment. You take somebody like me, for example, my environment, lead paint in the walls, lead in the water. Dead eyes, folks. The education system not as good. We growing up on fast food, drinking straight Coca-Colas and eating chips all day when her womb. All into my IQ and everybody from my environment. So you changing your mind about the IQ
no, it's not that. It's
studies?
just like that's a victim narrative. environment. It's like, no, you're a human, you're able to make decision, you have will, you're able to decide what you want to do. If you know,
look, how can you repeat rhetoric when all of the conclusions in those studies is false when they don't control for environment?
Say that what?
How can you repeat that rhetoric when all of those studies, the conclusions are invalid because they don't control for environment? That's like 50%.
I don't know if that's true, bro. I don't know if that's true. What you're
So
talking
you don't
about.
think the
Because
lead in the paint in the walls in the neighborhoods I grew up in
this
didn't affect
meta-analysis that
how I
I'm
grew
talking
up?
about is huge, and it accounted for people from all over the world, and they found this. Like,
these people are in different conditions. That might affect the outcome of the numbers.
okay, look, we
Hey,
could we
you know-
could we
hey,
could
that's-
sit
I'm
here,
2 for 2 right now.
bro. You ain't 2 for nothing.
I'm
bro.
2 for
You're not
2,
2 for
folks.
nothing, bro. You're not 2 for nothing. Like,
You want to go on to the next one?
Like, bro, you're not 2 for nothing, bro. Like, the
2 for
reality
2.
is you're over here saying, oh, it doesn't account for society. This is a meta-analysis between hundreds of studies on IQ from people all across the world. And what
All
they
across
found
the
is,
world in different
here's the bottom
conditions.
line, bro. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is this. Asians score the highest, whites score second highest, Latinos are behind them, and blacks tend to be at the bottom. If you don't like that, it is what it is, but that's the fact, okay?
I don't
Now, you can
mind
go
that.
ahead and talk about why or product of environment or make excuses, but the facts are the facts, bro. Like, that's
It's not
what
an
it is.
excuse. It's a fact of reality.
Because you're literally making excuses saying, well, oh, they didn't account for this or they didn't account for that. When in reality, they probably did, right? And you're just making excuses for why low.
The reason I bring it up because it's a lot
And
of
here's
people.
the other thing, too.
Go
Like,
ahead, go
you got
ahead.
to understand, not every black person has low IQ. That's not what it is. It's just saying, on average, they tend to be lower IQ than other individuals. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, people are better at certain things. African Americans dominate sports.
The reason I'm
Basketball,
bringing this
football,
up,
etc.
it's people who you
So
cool
there
with
are absolutely
who use those studies for some crazy ass shit. Like saying no black people should be in this country. Like, I'm talking about like all this shit like that, right? Those studies aren't even valid. You agree with me on control for environment. It's a
I
you
didn't-
cool
I didn't-
with.
but no, I don't.
It's a
I
lot
don't-
of people who
You're
think
right on that. That it
people
doesn't
like
count-
me shouldn't exist in this country because of
I don't-
those studies.
I don't think that's correct. That it doesn't control for environment.
Saying
You
like
just-
my
control for environment. It controls for a lot of things. Again,
it's damn near impossible to
it's a
control for environment.
meta-analysis.
You pulling people from all these different places. It's so simple, bro.
It's a meta-analysis of different studies from different times, different areas, etc. And the conclusion is basically the same every single time. Look, the truth is the truth, bro. Like, you might not like it. You might say, well, this is why, but the truth is still the truth. You can pontificate as to why it's
Look,
like
bro.
that. You can make excuses about the water
I'm
and
cool
mercury
with the
and all this other
numbers,
stuff.
bro. I'm cool with being on the bottom of the scoreboard.
So then-
I'm just saying
okay,
the
so-
game ain't fair. That's what it all come down to.
The game is very fair.
You can't be mad if I got less points than the next man when I had less opportunities to shoot, basically.
Bro, this is that black victimhood mindset, man. This
I
is
ain't
what-
no victim. I'm
Bro,
gonna be successful no matter what study.
Okay, so the thing is that you're saying, oh, it's not fair, blah, blah. It is very fair. America has more black millionaires than anywhere else. Like, black people have crazy opportunity here compared to other places. Just that they always make excuses about why they're not where they're supposed to be or whatever. I would argue that the U.S. is one of the best places for black people to be. But the
It's like
facts
a-
are the facts, bro. Like, the IQ, it does go on race. I find it interesting how when we say are better athletes with more fast twitch muscle fibers and they can play basketball and they're superior, nobody cares. Everyone's like, yeah, they are superior. But then we go ahead and we
bro.
say
Everybody else, I don't care. I don't care where my people end up on the scoreboard. I'm telling you,
clearly
the
do
game
because you
ain't
came
fair.
in talking about it.
Because I know we disagree. I knew I was gonna prove you.
What do we disagree about? You just conceded that
Bro,
they
just
do.
rewind to the beginning of the debate. You was stuttering hard as ever, bro. You knew I was right.
All right, this is called debating in bad faith and coming in with yeah, bro. You literally, I told you the fact. Black people are at the bottom of the totem IQ in general. You agree with that? So there's nothing really to debate here. You're saying why you think
Studies aren't
and you're,
invalid.
and then you're trying to attack the veracity of the studies, but the studies are the studies, the facts are the facts. You could go ahead and try to dispute it and make excuses, but
I got a yes or no question for you. Do the studies control for environment?
I
No.
think they do because it's a meta-analysis of a bunch of different
You ain't
studies.
even
So that's going
confident
to
in
be
that
put in
answer,
there,
bro.
You just pulling that out your ass.
You
right
wasn't
now.
even confident in that. You
You
said
are
that
no,
you have
because
to say it.
it's because you're over here saying those studies don't control for environment. That's not true. You're out your ass.
I don't know what to
You're
tell
here
you.
to argue, try to get a clip, and bro, you didn't win, bro.
I don't want no clip. I ain't no content.
Because like what I said is factually true. They're at the bottom. Now you can make excuses, but they're at the bottom. And this is that black victim mindset that is why so many black people fail.
I see no
honestly.
black victims. I see
Complaining
black
about
success.
product mind.
Type shit, type shit.
Unacceptable. What's up, man?
What's up, Myron? I'm recording this also. I just want to stuff. I'm a huge fan. I genuinely appreciate all you do for all of us. And I am recently married, and I have a conservative wife. I'd like to ask you, like even my conservative wife, if I pose to her, women should be in the kitchen, what would you say the argument is for that? You know, it's like even though she's very conservative, but if I said to her, I feel like it might rustle some feathers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious as to, you know, how would you explain that in that situation? What
should be in the kitchen?
Yeah, like it's a statement. Women should be in the kitchen. The statement, women should be in the kitchen.
Well, against feminism is what it is. Really, is what it is. When I say that, like they should be focusing on family and creating a home versus pursuing a career and being hoes.
So more of like an overarching theme of like.
Yeah. It opposes feminism, modern feminism as we see it now.
I'd agree as well. As well. Also, I just had to ask that.
No worries,
Thank you
man.
for all you do, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Huge fan. You're the man, dude.
Thank you for the support, brother. We got the audio back up. We good?
Do you remember me? And every time you try to embarrass me, but it doesn't.
I don't know.
I'm
No
not
offense.
embarrassed.
We've had like almost 4,000 girls on.
Well, okay,
so.
who cares? All I've got to say is Jesus is king. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. You look uncomfortable that I'm talking about Jesus, but that's all I got to say. Clap if you love Jesus. Clap if you love God. He's listening. Here we go. God loves you, y'all. God forgive them. They do not know what they're doing. Jesus doesn't, he looks at the heart. He looks at what's inside. I can dress. Okay, lap. Looking at my, I'm literally wearing shorts under this. You're proving my point. Jesus loves me no matter what's on my body, what's on my head. He knows my head, he knows my heart, and all I've got to say, and he knows what's on y'all's heart. He knows where you're going. Jesus, he loves you. Jesus loves you. That's my point. Exactly, but I'm going to use what I can to tell y'all. Jesus fucking loves you. I can make a sandwich. I can make a sandwich.
I find it cool, man, that like she's over here talking about Jesus and dressed like that. It's like, come on,
If
man.
that's the only argument you have is what I'm wearing, God bless you.
Because
God
a woman's modesty is a significant amount of her worth to a man. That's why.
And a man's value doesn't stem from judging. It doesn't stem from degrading. There's a lot more that goes into it. So if you're judging me for what I'm wearing, then you will also be judged for 20 times million than that. It's the heart posture. Jesus loves you.
Why is it?
Woo!
You know what's interesting, right? Yeah. Women judge men all the time. Is he tall enough? Does he make enough money? Is he cool? Is he competent? Does he like dogs? Is he a good guy? Women judge men all the time, but if we reciprocate and say, well, I don't want a girl that dresses a certain way or whatever, that's considered discrimination or judging. But you guys judge us.
I've never said you're discriminating
way more.
or judging.
Women judge
I've
men
also,
all day. Hold on.
But I'm judging
No,
men
you spoke.
because
Hold on.
of how tall they are.
I just find it incredible how women judge men all day. And then if we go ahead and say, we're going to judge women too. We have standards as well. Oh, why are you judging me? Yeah, maybe it's because we have to put way more skin in the game to attract you guys. Maybe that's why. Because men have to be the protectors and the providers, and we don't want to get embarrassed with our girl. Maybe it's because a woman's past matters to a man's future. Maybe it's because if you're a whore, you're not going to be able to take care of our family. Maybe it's because we don't want to be. But I love it how women can sit there and have their standards, have these crazy high standards. Then we go ahead and say, well, you know what? I don't like a woman dresses our way. Why are you judging me? You guys judge us all
But
the time.
Who said that I was judging you? Like, that's the thing is you're grouping all
No.
women
You
together
got mad
as,
at me
oh,
for
we're
judging you.
You're automatically assuming that I am judging you when that has never been.
No, you're the one that
anything
made assertion that I'm judging you.
because you did judge. You
Definitely
said, oh,
am.
you're right.
I definitely am. And here's the thing.
Exactly.
Here's the
Exactly.
thing. And men need to more when they do stupid shit like talk about Jesus while dressed like sluts. Call them out. This is fucking ridiculous.
I hope
The
you
fact-
realize.
Look. Hold on.
Jesus will judge you.
Men
just
need to
accordingly.
understand. Look, guys.
You think I'm
this-
judging you because
this-
you're judging yourself.
This proves
Nobody will
my
judge you harder
point.
than Jesus.
Guys, feminism is so fucking prevalent.
I'm not a feminist.
And pernicious. Hold on. Feminism is reaped so strongly into society that women have the fucking hubris to come on a mic, tens of thousands of people say, I love Jesus, while dressed like hoes. Arrogance to get on a mic and say, let's talk about Jesus while dressed like tramps. This
I
is
think
fucking
you should
ridiculous.
study the Bible. You should see Jesus loves you. Even though what you're doing, he loves you. I hate to hear that somebody loves you because you get off on judging other people and thinking everybody's judging you. Women do not judge men as much as you think they are.
They absolutely
You've
do.
just been judged so hard in your life, you can't accept the fact that like people are not judging you. Jesus loves you. I love you. Good night.
Bro. Yo. So, I think it's important that guys this is like the new normal now, right? We got girls coming in talking about Jesus and religion while dressed provocatively. It's the ultimate hypocrisy, but the only reason why that happens is because we've created an environment with feminism where can do no wrong and they can't be criticized and they can't be judged. Only men can be judged. That's why we have the society that we have now where she had the gall to actually do that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Anyway, you can't make this shit up. Like all my stereotypes have come true. The dude before with the low IQ argument, acting violent, the black woman twerk, race and IQ, like, bro, this shit crazy. All right, yo, guys, they can hear y'all, man. All right, who's up next? Anybody else have anything?
Hi, how are you?
About the audio, guys.
So, my name is Rocky. I'm from London. There's one that I disagree with you.
We're gonna
on
end it?
on your sign there. You wrote women should be in the kitchen. I think women should be in jail. Women should be in jail. According to me, they should be in jail. These fucking bitches take advantage of every man. They ride you, and then all of a sudden, a man gets his pants pulled down in court. I'm a divorced man from New York City. I got my pants pulled down in court, and I don't fucking believe that they believe in the kitchen. They believe in fucking jail. The way a man is interrogated, the way his pants pulled down in New York City, every single woman should be in fucking jail, according to me. Oh, fuck you, fatty. You've got so much weight, you should run around the block 10 times.
How long is that going to take?
You're so that you should run around the block around 10 times. Yeah. When you lose some weight, come and say hello. Fuck.
Okay. Let's do the switch real quick. All right, guys. Sorry, I know you guys are talking about the audio being fucked up. We're gonna do it, and guys, this is never gonna happen again. We're gonna get on their game next time. Guys, you're the
We
production
got
crew,
Fatty
man.
Bumbalati.
We'll get this shit next time.
He talked mad shit to you. Hold on, slow it down, short.
Okay,
Hold on. Do we have the mic ready? Because she's about to.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, I'll be
Test. Can they hear it?
test.
We're good? All right. What did you want to say? I'm sure you want to respond to the British guy. He called you fat.
I do believe in mutual respect. So I do believe in mutual respect. Just because this gentleman went through a horrible divorce, it does not generalize the opinion of all the women in the world. Am I right? So I do believe in mutual respect. I do believe there should be more men, more to become more masculine, more or stronger.
All right, do you have anything to say back to the guy that called you fat?
Listen, I'm not going to go down to that level. So
Okay.
he can tell, he can call me whatever he wants. That's like his problem. But he's been very disrespectful. And all I'm asking is like the respect, because who raised him? A woman, right? His mother. So
What
he
was
should
that?
be respectful.
I don't even know what she said, bro. Yeah, maybe maybe she does need to run around the block 10 times. I don't know.
That statement is not right, because they should be all over the house, not
What?
only in the kitchen.
What is that?
I said, not only in the kitchen. What about the rest of the house?
Oh, what about the rest of the house?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. There's other places that got to get clean too.
exactly.
All right, I think we should be back good with the audio and everything. So, yeah, that chat. All right, who's up next?
Who's next? Who's next? I know somebody want to get on the fucking.
Women being in the kitchen, or women being in the kitchen, or no aid to Israel, or whatever. What happened? We got a lot of people here, man. That's good.
Who's next? Who's next? Nobody. What about you, redhead? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Who's next? Oh, he's back. He's back. Who's next? Anybody? Ladies. Which one of you bitches can make a sandwich? Who's next? Nobody, no women, nobody, everybody fucking silent. Nobody gonna change his mind. Nobody's capable, so women belong in the kitchen, right? Oh, we got a British bitch.
All right. I can after I'll read them after this.
Wait. Okay, right here.
What's up?
Testing, testing. Okay, my question is simply like, why do you think this, to understand you a bit better, so I can create my thought?
Why do I think women should be in the kitchen?
Yes. Like, when you mean kitchen, do you mean like they need to take care of the house? Do they need to do all those jobs, like take care of the children and just do that?
Yes, my position is women should be prioritizing a family and children over a career and being a whore.
And being a whore?
Yes.
So you're saying all women are whore?
A significant amount, yes.
I mean, I don't know where you're getting that statistic from, but
A lot of women.
No.
A lot of women are pretty promiscuous. So,
And not men. The men right here, half of them are fucking dogs.
well, the difference is
So
that
men are allowed to be dogs, but women can't be whore. Where's
Yeah.
the logic?
Yeah, because men, right? We have to earn our value. Women don't. So a guy that has sex with a lot of women is doing something right. A woman that's having sex with a lot of dudes is doing something very wrong. We're not the same.
Very funny. That mindset
sorry,
is very
what is that?
funny. I think it's a funny mindset to have, honestly. Like, how could I don't get that. If a woman wants to earn a business,
If women could do everything that a man can do, we wouldn't need to have lower standards for them when they join police forces or
half
the
of the men
military.
here lower
or,
their fucking standards. All they do is
or-
open doors.
Or we wouldn't have a female sports league versus a male sports league. The reality is that women can't do everything a man can do. That's actually
That's for sure. That male and female are not the
Yeah.
same. But we're talking not that. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about like how they're not the same in ways of like fucking women have to be in the kitchen?
Well, you're missing the point that it doesn't just end at the biology. We not only are we different biologically, we're different in the way that we're wired and the way that we do things because our biology dictates our sexual strategy. So in other words, so you understand this, women look for quality, men look for quantity. So a woman is looking for the best guy that she can get and get long-term commitment from that man. A man is looking for attractive women and having as many of them as he can. So in other words, a man that's having sex with a lot of women has to bring value versus a woman that's having sex with a lot of dudes does not have to bring value.
But what about a woman who, for example, the husband leaves her for another girl who cheats on her, so she's alone with her?
Well, that's where women need to be intelligent,
Which
understand.
is my kind of situation. My father left me
Okay.
at the age of 3. My mum had to bring me up with my brother alone.
Okay.
How does that work?
So again,
Women
I don't know.
stepped into the fucking the masculine era. Of course she did. She had to do what she had to do. She's women can
Okay.
do everything. They don't have to stay in the kitchen.
You're making the emotional argument right now. What I'm saying is,
It's not emotional. It's
that families operate optimally when there's a man and a woman. The woman takes care of the family. The man is the breadwinner because the woman has, if she has to raise.
We're in the new generation. If you don't get with the new fucking generation, like, it doesn't work.
The new generation is cooked, is what I'm trying to explain to you. Do you understand that? Like this, because it's the new generation doesn't mean that it's good. That's precisely why marriage rates are low. This is why divorce rates are high. This is why more women are reporting unhappiness than ever before.
Yeah, 'cause the men
Record
are
amount of
fucking
women are
dogs.
using SSRIs and
Men
using
expect us just to
antidepressant
have
medication.
flat asses, to look good, to have big boobs, to fuck them every night, to do this, to do that. Like, that's what they expect. Like, if
Okay.
I didn't expect you to get it because your
No,
reasoning is
I do
very...
understand it. It's just that you don't understand is the problem. You're operating from a faulty premise that men and women are equal. I'm telling you that they're not. A man that's promiscuous is doing something right. A woman that's promiscuous is doing something wrong. We are not the same, okay? So since we are not the same, we're not the same standards, okay? This is why a woman can be 21 years old, be a bum, and still meet a millionaire versus a man needs to have money and status and bring something to the table to be able to attract women. We are not the same.
You're
Women are born with value.
You're
Men must create value.
You're
What?
generalizing. If I was a rich woman, which I'm actually working for that right now, like, I would totally take in a man who doesn't have as much money. If I could provide, I would... You don't believe me?
Well, here's the thing. You might take him in for a period of time, but you're not going to take him seriously or date him long term. Women are not good provisioners.
If he can take care of my children for me, I would do it.
Yeah, okay.
Whilst I'm at work.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Like most women do not want winners for their husband where he's a stay-at-home dad. Never works out. And again, this is what I'm trying to say when I say biology almost always overrides social norms. Like you're operating from this feminist egalitarian mindset of I could be a breadwinner and my man will take care of my kids. Realistically speaking, you're going to lose respect for him, you're going to lose attraction for him, and you're going to cheat on him. It's not going to work. It doesn't work when women behave like men or when men behave like women. We got to do it the other way. Put the women back in the kitchen, have them taking care of the families, the men being the breadwinner and the decider, and that's what women are attracted to. This is
At
how
the
it's
end of the
worked
day,
all...
it's a question of point of view at the end of the day. Like, you must have had some bad experiences in your life to have this opinion. Like,
No.
it's strange.
Okay, you
It's
do
weird.
realize the society that we have now, right, was built upon the nuclear family. All the modern conventions that we have, all the industry that we made, it was made through the nuclear family. Now we're starting to go backwards because we've civilized the world so much where women think that they're equal to men. So we're going backwards. The society's actually getting worse because we civilized it so much thanks to feminism. That's what I'm trying to say. The society we have now was built upon the nuclear family.
But I just feel like it's just putting so much stress on men at the end of the day because all these men are like, okay, now I have to be...
Because we're superior to you guys, so we can handle it. That's my point.
You can't. They all are literally making less money than I am today. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm just saying, like, a woman can make just as much money as men.
Sure.
The poor men, stressed out, they have to pay for the dates, they have to pay for this, they have to pay for that. Poor men. They don't deserve that. Like,
You're okay.
But
Well,
women
look,
aren't hookers
you're missing the point. Look, women can make their money. What I'm saying is that women make money. It's not the same as when a man makes money. When a man makes money, he says, okay, I could take care of a girl and a family. When a woman makes money, what does she say? I'm independent. Ask yourself, independent of whom? Independent of a man. When women make money, they look at it like, I don't need a man anymore. When a man makes money, it's like, okay, now a woman can need me. We are not the same when we make money. This is why nobody gives a fuck about a woman's career or her income, because it doesn't benefit us. If you were the guy, let me give you an example so you really understand this concept. Let's say you got with a guy that spent a significant amount of time on his clothes, his fashion, dressing well, spent more time than you did, right? And he was more handsome and prettier than you.
okay.
Wouldn't that annoy you a little bit after a while?
I mean, I want my man to look good.
Yeah. But I'm saying he's taking it to the next level. He's spending more time at the hair salon than you. He's spending more money on his clothes than you. He has
But
a
like,
bigger
if
shoe
we're going
collection.
out, he will share with me.
No, I'm asking you. Would you be okay with him putting so much emphasis onto his looks?
No, I actually don't mind. Like, do what you want, bro.
Okay, the answer is a no. Because the
There's
reason
no
why
right
is
or
because
wrong answer.
yeah, you don't want to answer because you know the answer. The answer is a no, and the reason why is because he's behaving like a woman, which is unattractive. A woman chases her money and behaves
so
like
a
a man.
man's a
It's
woman
not
when he
attractive.
cares about his clothes and his looks. That's what you're saying.
You weren't listening to what I was saying.
You just said if the man takes more care of himself,
Yes.
he's not, but then we would be jealous and we would think he's feminine for doing that.
Yes, women are not attracted to feminine men.
I want my man to go to the hairdressers, to go to the nail salon. I want him to wear nice clothes. I want him to get a fucking pedicure. That's
Women don't like feminine men. See the OnlyFans?
I'm not doing anything. A whore is a girl who does things with guys. I'm white.
He's on OnlyFans. This comedy.
Hate on me, but actually, at the end of the day, at least I'm making great money.
Yeah, that's fine. But like I said before, you're not gonna want to take care of a man that can't make money.
I can take care of a man right now. And
But
I
will
take
you?
care of them all day. They
And-
pay me.
And where are they? And here's the other thing too. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm gonna be painfully honest with you. Sex workers can't demand monogamy or a higher status guy. Sorry.
It's a question of point of view again. Like, I feel like the OF is something
No
that...
guy that has a real reputation and gives a fuck about his name is gonna get with a girl that does OnlyFans. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
OF at the end of the day. He won't care.
Yes. Notice how you said you can get any guy, but can you keep any guy? That's the point.
Well, I'm young and I'm literally learning life. I can't actually answer that with my own, like, life experience yet.
All right.
But
Let me be blunt about this.
Go ahead.
You're gonna have a very difficult time finding a guy that you're actually attracted by.
because I
that's
actually
higher
have a
status. That's gonna take you
personality.
seriously. Okay.
I have a great personality.
Again,
It's
let me
more.
finish what I'm saying. That's irrelevant. What I'm telling you is your work has disqualified you from a significant amount of men that are attractive, that are handsome, that have options. They're not going to get with a sex worker. So you're going to have to lower your standards.
I'm not a
get with a
sex
more
worker.
average guy. Yes, you are. By being on OnlyFans, you are a sex worker. By definition, you're a sex worker. Guys.
Show me your tits.
Yo. No.
You got bigger ones.
Yo. Yeah, guys, relax, bro. Look, it's very simple. You're gonna have a hard time finding a guy that's gonna take you seriously based on your work. Women that are sex workers.
Do you have
struggle.
a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? That's what I thought. The fuck? Like,
What does that
you
have to do with anything?
Exactly. Like, it just means, like, you can't even get it yourself. So, like, you are telling me I can't. Like, what's that? I don't get that.
Okay, who picks who gets sex, men or women?
Women can choose if they want to do it or not.
Yes, perfect.
So-
So would it be fair to say women control sex?
Yes.
Okay, who decides if a woman gets married?
Well, the man does it, but the girl says so
Okay.
she can say no. in
No.
a
The
second.
point I'm trying to make is that women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. So it's your job as the woman to get the guy to get down on one knee and marry you. So you sitting there saying, "Are you in a relationship?" That has nothing to do with anything. That's like me asking you, "Are you having?" At all.
I just don't understand how you could say that just because I do OF, like, people might think that, like, I can't get a man.
You're a sex worker, which means you're not going to be able to attract and retain a higher status guy because your job is embarrassing to him.
But
Common
I'm not going to
sense.
do it forever.
It doesn't matter. You're cooked.
Guys, I have a whole plan behind it. It's not just OF.
That's
There's more
fine. You
to
can
it.
have your plan.
I can't speak on it. I've got a lot of going
You
on
can
right
have
now.
your plan, but what
I have
I'm
a whole
telling you
business
is,
plan behind it. It's
let's
not
say
just
you
doing
leave.
it.
Let's say you stop OnlyFans and you get with a guy, and he finds out that you did OnlyFans 5 years later.
find out,
He's
I'll
gonna
tell
have
him.
serious concerns about taking you seriously.
I will tell him. I pick.
Hold
who
on.
I
Let me
send
ask you
things
this. Hold
to.
on. Why won't you tell him?
Why would I tell him?
No. Why won't you tell him?
Why won't I tell him? I just
Yeah.
told you I would tell him.
No, you just said you won't. You just said you won't ask. You won't tell him.
I just said I would tell him.
No, you said you won't tell him.
But I just said I would tell him.
Oh, now you're saying you would.
We're
Okay.
not fucking. I just said that. I just said I would tell him, and he would be okay with that because he would love me for me, not for anything else I do. Well, I don't know.
Women being
I just
delusional,
don't really
bro.
agree.
Look, you're just delusional. I'm sorry. Women that do sex work get disqualified by a majority of men that have any type of real
That's
status.
fine. That's why there are so many in this world.
What?
There are so many men in this world. If a few disqualify, that's fine. I wouldn't want them anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of men, but women only want a small percentage of them, which is precisely my point.
Not particularly. I don't want a small percentage of men. Like, there are some who would
Do
try
you have high standards?
Not particularly, no. I don't even care if he looks great or what. I don't care.
So you'll take anything?
Pardon?
You'll take anything then?
I don't take anything.
No, I said you'll take any guy, or do you have high standards?
I don't have high standards. I just know what I like, and when I see it and when we get on, like, I'm not going to look at a guy and be like, oh, you're disqualified. No, I'll look at him, we'll talk, we'll chat, and then I'll know.
All right, what's the bare minimum income he's got to make for you?
I don't even know. I don't know money. I'm just living my own life, making money as I'm doing it. Like, I'm only literally 18. I'm 18.
Cooked.
Okay.
All right.
Well, anyways, it's okay, whatever. But thank you.
Yep.
I just
Cooked.
don't agree with you.
You don't have to agree with reality, but I'm telling you the reality. Women that do sex work are not going to get wifed up by higher status men. It is what it is. And OnlyFans is sex work. It's the ugly truth, man. But we got to be honest.
Okay.
What's up, man?
So you're writing that women should be in the kitchen,
Yeah.
right? Why do you think women should be in the kitchen?
I've been saying it the whole time. I mean, I oppose feminism.
You are what?
I oppose feminism.
Okay, so you believe that a woman should just stay in the kitchen, the man should be out working. That's what.
Yes.
Okay, but what if a woman works, as in today's society?
Is she what?
What if she works, as in today's society?
I don't think she should be the predominant breadwinner.
She shouldn't be. The man should be, but if she's working and she's out there, is that okay or not?
I think she should be prioritizing the kids. If she's going to work, it's got to be part-time, kids are priority, and she quits any time that it starts to become a problem.
Okay, let's discuss two situations. The first one is when two get married, right? They didn't have kids yet. They're planning on having.
Priority.
The family, say the kids are born 5 years, or let's say 10 years later, they're good on their own. Does she have to stay at home?
That's her choice.
It's her choice, but so the kids are out.
All right, let me be simple about this.
Okay.
Because you're asking me a lot of redundant questions.
Okay.
It should be like this. The man should be the predominant breadwinner.
Uh-huh.
The woman, until they have kids, can work electively. But I think it should always be that women work electively. And once the kid is there, she should prioritize the kids and reserve the right to leave her job at any time. The kids take priority. So the man always needs to be the breadwinner. She actively decides to join the workforce if she wants, based on the needs of the children. If they don't got kids, that's fine. Those kids come in, we're not putting them in a fucking babysitter. She's gotta deal with the kids herself, because no one's gonna care for the kids like the mother or the grandma. So that's my position. She can work, but as soon as that starts to interfere with the child rearing, it needs to be dropped.
Okay, so you're prioritizing the family over the work. That's what
100%.
you're saying. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Do you believe a woman who doesn't work has a better their husband than a woman that doesn't work?
I mean, it's a case, but I do think that women are going to get more fulfillment from raising than a job.
Why can't she get both?
Because it's very difficult.
So let's say she raised the kids and then now she started working again. Can she get a fulfillment after that?
Again, it's very difficult to do both. Are there some women that are capable of it? Yes, but she has she's talking shit. That's crazy. That's wild. It's always the fat girls too, bro. The family is my position.
So the family is the priority, but
yeah,
she can work and have a family. That's
chase two birds, right, and get both. You got to pick one, right? Okay. You got to pick one. So it's either she's gonna do the career and be really good at her job, or she's going to prioritize the kids. What I'm saying is, fuck her career. Nobody cares about a woman's income or status. Nobody does.
Okay.
She should be focusing on the family. As soon as the family starts to suffer because of her job or her career, that's a problem. And I encourage men to look for women that prioritize family over the career. If she wants to be a doctor and, you know, prioritize her title, that's fine. Let her go ahead and do that. But I'm not going to fucking commit to her.
Okay. One more question is, how do you compare getting a woman in the United States, or let's say specifically Miami, to getting a woman outside of the United States in a traditional country? How would you compare both?
Well, I mean, the problem here in Miami is that the girls have really high standards and they don't bring anything really back in return. So it's a viable option to potentially go somewhere else where women are more traditional, because the women here are sluts and they want a lot.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Would you believe somewhere else they don't want as much as in Miami?
Well, the standards aren't going to be as high as, because like let's say you go to like Thailand, right? The cost of living there is significantly lower. You can have a certain type of, you can make $100,000 a year but live like a multimillionaire over there. So what you've been able to do is kind of utilize that country's environment to your advantage and create a certain lifestyle and a certain status for yourself that will make you more attractive there. This is what a lot of guys do. Now, do I participate in the passport bro movement? No, but I see why guys do it, because women in America are so insufferable that guys are like, why the fuck am I paying all this money in dealing with these insufferable, rude women that don't really care about being a good girlfriend? So that's why so many guys go to other places.
So would you go to Thailand and get a wife over there?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Why
but
not?
I understand why guys do it.
Okay, but you would prefer getting a wife here than in Thailand?
Well, for me, I kind of, my personal situation is irrelevant. I'm just explaining to you why guys do what they do.
Why is it irrelevant?
It's irrelevant because I'm just telling you what it is. Like, my personal, what I do is not really, what I do, I'm not going to tell guys to do it. You know what I'm saying?
But don't you apply your logic to your own life?
No, like I'll tell people like, hey, this is what it is, but I'm cognizant of the fact that most guys can't do what I do. So when I dispense information, I dispense it from a position where other guys can achieve that versus doing what I do.
So how is it different from what you do then? Because if you're gonna try to tell us something, you have to be convinced by it. So we are convinced by it.
What I'm saying is, for me, I'm not a passport bro guy, but I see why men do it. That's all I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. I understand. Makes sense. Yeah. But if guys are trying to prioritize finding a girlfriend over, you know, earning money, or maybe they can earn a lot of money over there, then that's fine. But for me, I'm prioritizing career, which means I need to stay here versus going and finding a woman. But some guys are in different positions in their life.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Who's up next?
We're not talking about Israel or any of that, though. The words that I can't say, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, you want to talk about what? Israel?
No, I don't want to talk about Israel or women.
Yeah, you don't have to. What do you want to? What's up?
So I want to talk about qualifications. So never did it. You should be teaching everyone how to monetize social media. You would be amazing at that because you did that. You're great at it. But what are your qualifications besides that? Because you're milking everyone right now for views and engagement, and it's working.
Uh-huh.
But you're not qualified. So what? Explain. Elaborate.
So which one is it? Is it I'm qualified or I'm not?
Let's go back 5 years.
Uh-huh.
You were a regular guy.
Yep.
A regular guy.
Uh-huh.
When social media happened, you blew up. You monetized it. You did great.
Yep.
Who the fuck are you to lecture people how to make money? You never made money. Like, for me, I made money before social media.
Uh-huh.
I can lecture people that. You're not qualified. You talk about Israel like you're as if like you work for the military. Do you work for the military? You have information we don't have?
Well, you don't have to work for the military to be aware of what's going on with
Let's
geopolitical
go back to the
conflicts.
qualifications. Go back to the qualifications.
Yeah, sure.
Why are you qualified to tell people how to make money, how to make women? You never got women.
Okay.
You were that weird-looking guy in the corner.
Sure.
It's not
Okay.
sure. It's a fact.
No, it's not.
It's a fact. I can prove it. It's
you,
a fact.
You actually can't, but that's fine.
You
so,
don't want me? I
you
will,
know,
everyone, I will prove it that you were nothing 5 years ago.
Okay. So first and foremost, yeah, I was a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations for almost a decade. And when I was doing that job, I was earning about $130,000 per year. That puts me in the top 10, 15%. You might say that that's not necessarily that much money, but for me it was fine because I'm a minimalist. It's interesting that you say I wasn't getting girls back then because in reality I actually got more women back then
You
than I
said
do now.
this.
No, I'm telling you, I used to get women more.
You're saying that
back
now,
then.
but you said before you did it.
Okay,
Social
can I address
Go ahead,
your points?
Go ahead.
So number one, I had a very good career, very proud of it. I served my country. That's number one. Number two, was doing pretty well, minimalist, 130K per year doing that job, fine. Then also, since I had a regular job, I had more free time than I do now. So I was out dealing with women a lot more than I do now. So if it's actually the contrary, I used to get more girls back then, and I had the benefit of anonymity because I wasn't an internet person where I have a very controversial stance on a lot of different topics. My fame has actually not helped me with getting women. It's actually hurt me.
Okay.
So I actually used to do better before when I first moved here when I was working on the job because I was able to use that anonymity to my benefit. Also, women like guys that work in law enforcement, etc. Shows a lot of characteristics that
fine.
make you
You
attractive.
got all the women.
So now the other thing too that you're talking about with teaching people how to I'm not qualified or
No,
whatever.
let me explain. Let me elaborate. You said you made $130,000 a year.
Working that job, yes.
Then you turn around, you monetize social media, and you did very well. I give you props. You did very, very well. But who are you to lecture regular people how to make money when you never made money besides social media?
So
You
again,
should be saying, you should have a sign that says, this is how you monetize social media. Not, because you're not qualified to speak about anything. Women in the kitchen, it's all for, you want to milk everyone for views. This is a stupid subject.
you make no sense because on one end you're saying
Everyone
first
knows
you're
what I'm
saying,
saying.
look, you don't understand. First you're saying you're not qualified to give advice. Now you're saying, oh well, you should teach people how to monetize. Which one is it?
You should teach people how to monetize social media because that's all you earn and that's all you're good at.
Oh yeah.
You should not
Terrorists doing complex
people on anything. Is the microphone dead?
Because it cut out.
You're not qualified. What happened? What happened? The mic's dead? All right, you can hear me. So, like I said, you should be teaching a class how to monetize social media because that's all you're qualified to do. You shouldn't be lecturing people on the government, on women.
I used to
this
work
and
for the
that.
government.
I'm talking about events that are occurring in Iran, Israel, in Ukraine, Russia. You act as if like you're part of the military. Is there something we should know?
You
Are
don't
you
have
like
to
a military general?
You don't have to work for the military to understand geopolitical
No,
affairs and
you
conflicts.
tell people things. You don't say. You tell.
Yeah.
You don't say this
So
is
I
what
tell
I
the
think.
truth.
You don't say I think this, I think that. You tell people what it is, but you're not qualified to. I'm calling a spade a spade.
You make zero sense. You realize that, right?
I make no sense?
You make no sense. Yeah.
That you're not qualified
You
to
make
speak
no
on the
sense.
subject?
No, because I would
5
argue.
years ago you had nothing. So you should teach everyone how to make money, monetize social media. You can't teach people how to make money other ways. You have a course. You tell people how to make money. Who the fuck are you to tell people to make money?
Someone
I
that's
should
way
tell people
more,
that.
yeah, someone that's far more famous than you are. Nobody knows
What
who you
about
are for obvious
famous?
reasons.
I have more money than you. I don't care
You
about
probably don't
famous.
actually, but that's fine.
Okay.
We can
Everyone,
let you. We can
look
let
up
you.
Johnny Roof on
Because here's
Google.
the thing. I've been very. I'm actually transparent about
Ask
my
your
finances.
partner who
and-
has more money. Your
Okay,
partner knows.
that's
That's
cool.
fresh.
Again, buddy, you're coming in here, talking to me, on my channel, saying that I'm not qualified when you've been on my show and no one knows who you are. And here's the other thing
That
too.
doesn't answer the
my
question.
My resume, I've done a lot. Okay, I've served this country. I put my life on the line to protect the Constitution. I've arrested terrorists, human smugglers, all types of shit, pedophiles. I've done it all. Then I transitioned into a fitness business, which I was able to bring into another six-figure income. Then I started a podcast, which became wildly successful, made me a multimillionaire. Then I control a bunch of real estate in multiple states. So you can sit here and say, oh, you can't monetize or you're not qualified. I'm actually very qualified because I was a regular guy and I was able to turn myself into a millionaire versus you. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody cares who you are. And quite frankly, you're not qualified to talk about anything.
Here's the
so with that
difference.
said, there's a reason why you're talking on my channel, not the other way around.
Here's the difference.
Clearly, you're jaded about
listen,
something
let
and
me
you have a
finish.
personal vendetta.
Myron, let me finish.
Okay?
Let
You have
me
a personal
finish.
vendetta.
Myron, let me finish.
The reality is,
Myron,
people know who I am.
Myron.
Nobody knows or gives a
Myron,
fuck who
no
you
one
are.
cares about who you are.
You're here. You clearly do. What
I'm
the fuck are you
talking to
talking about?
Myron,
Get the fuck
listen.
out of here. Get this guy out of here,
Listen,
man.
you're
Get
35.
this guy out of here.
I've been a millionaire for the last 15 years.
Nobody gives a
and
fuck
I'm
what
your
you got to
age.
say. You're pissed off because I didn't want to talk to you on the street. Get the fuck up out
On
of here.
the street?
You're a fucking nobody. You're a fucking nobody. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. This fucking guy. He's fucking mad because I didn't want to say hi to him one time on the streets coming in here saying, yeah, you did, man. Shut the fuck up. It's a fucking retard, bro. He's a fucking drunken retard, too. Anyway, who's up next? Dude's a fucking clown. Well, I thought I'm a nobody. Why do you want to talk to me?
Excuse me, keep it the fuck clear. Excuse me. All you niggas in the street. Watch out.
Yo, it's fucking hilarious how, oh, you're a nobody. You just teach people, blah, blah, blah. It's like, which one am I? Or you want to talk to me? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, bro? I don't know. 5 minutes? All right. What's up, man?
Okay.
So fucking annoying, man.
I don't
People are
even know
weirdos.
what's going on. I just got here, but I think women should be wherever they want to be. That's my
You think
take
women
on
should
it.
be wherever they want to be?
Yeah. I just
Okay.
got here, so I don't know what the previous arguments were, but
What, they're arresting them? The cops looking at it against dog. Fucking dumbass, bro. Yo, point the camera over there. Show them.
What are they doing?
Bro.
What's
This
going
nigga,
on
bro,
over there?
came in with a vendetta, bro, on some bullshit.
hey, I don't think he likes you very much.
Yeah, it's funny. People talk shit and whatever. Guy's a fucking drunk. Dude is always drunk, bro. All right, what's up? You said you think women shouldn't be what?
They should be wherever they want to be. Kitchen, streets, gym. I mean, in the office, women should be wherever the hell they want to be.
Yeah. So you think that's good for society?
I think so, yeah. I do believe in traditional women values and being a homemaker, but I also
All right.
don't
So if
believe
you believe in traditional values, that means that they shouldn't be everywhere.
But I also believe in freedom and letting them do what they want.
So
right?
what's more important, the freedom or the traditionalism?
Well, I mean, the thing is, if
Because
a
the two
woman-
conflict.
Huh?
The two conflict.
That is true, but if a woman doesn't have the right man or partner to be to want to be a homemaker and make that home, you know, what is she gonna do?
Shouldn't she preserve herself until she finds that guy?
Yeah, maybe, but it doesn't mean she shouldn't like be at work and working overtime if she doesn't have that guy, right?
Well, a lot of the times they just become hoes.
Yeah, that's true, but
And
that's
then-
on them. They
and
don't
then-
have
and
to
then-
become
That's
hoes.
fine, but then here's the thing: they get the consequences of that. Guys don't want to take them seriously.
What if they want to be a workaholic?
My thing is this: if they want to go ahead and be 304s, that's fine. But then they can't command a traditional relationship and a guy that's going to take care of them. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
All right, fair
But
enough.
if they want to work and be independent, that does take them away from being a homemaker. But you know,
Then let them be
that's their
independent.
choice.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they forfeited the, like for example, the girl before that did OnlyFans. She
Okay.
wants to be a sex worker. Okay, cool. Now she's got to deal with that, where a lot of men are gonna disqualify her for a serious relationship.
Yeah, they're
She got
probably
that
not gonna
freedom. She
value
made that
her as
choice.
much.
Now she's got to deal with the consequences. What I'm saying is, some women simply don't deserve their Prince Charming. And I know that's a very difficult thing to say, but hoes don't deserve good men.
I mean, I don't really want to argue with that.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Cool. All right, he's the last one.
Yo, what's up, champ? All
Yo.
right, all right. So you're telling me that women should be in the kitchen, and you want me to change your mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know your argument first, because that is like crazy, bro. Don't you have like a girlfriend or like a wife or something, like somebody you
All right, bro,
appreciate?
we went over this a million times. Somebody else, because I don't want to
You really gonna
rehash
do
the
that,
same
bro?
argument again. Yeah, somebody else. So I've literally rehashed it a million times, bro. Because we literally got like 2 minutes, and I don't want to go through my argument again, and then we got to get out of here. So, new permanent FNF guest, homeless Navy vet nigga. Yo, man, I came to Florida on vacay, honeymoon weather, be wild as fuck, hot as fuck, raining. Honestly, love your work and Debrief support you 100%. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, bro. Niggas are retarded, bro. So, anybody else?
Final thoughts, final statements.
All right, guys. So, CastleClub, join it up, man. CC17 obviously fuels the mission. We'll come back out here next Friday. We'll, fix the audio and the power things. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and do a stream for you guys on Myron Gaines X. Give me like an hour or so, guys, and I'll go ahead and fire up a stream for you guys. We'll talk about the news, what's going on with Israel and Iran, how it was a monumental failure, because I didn't get to talk to you guys about that last time. So we'll cover that. And then what else? Yeah, join OSS, man, because bro, this shit's fucking annoying, as you guys can see here, man. Dealing with retards.
CastleClub code.
Yeah, CC17 and then 9/11, JFK 9/11 or them boys 9/11 for OSS. Anyway, gonna go live on a debrief within an hour or so, guys. So I'll see you guys over there. Myron Gaines X on Kick, Rumble, YouTube, etc. About 1 hour. So let's make it 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. I'll be live on the other channel. We'll cover some of the debates, the news, Iran, Israel, geopolitics, all that other shit. Love you guys. Peace.